What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Boys in the Big Apple podcast. Three of us are back. A lot of sports events captured over the weekend. It's going to be a fun night to talk about. We have scheduled predictions, still a lot to do. We have 21 teams. We went through 11 last week, which honestly shocked me, but we went through some of the teams that weren't ours really quickly. With that being said, the Knicks played over the weekend. They lost to the Atlanta Hawks. Luca is very adamant about that. Sean's going to talk a little bit about the Yankees. They're sweeping. And with that being said, I get something hooked up. Sean, you want to take it over on your thoughts on the weekend and just the week in general? And then I'll have Luca.
And hello, everybody. What's up, Jagger? What's up, Potato? No, it was a good sports weekend, really. The Yankees, obviously, they won. They swept the White Sox, which I'm happy they stuck it to Tony La Russa and, his boomer self. But, that's beside the point. They've won 6 in a row. Yankees are looking like themselves again. I like that. Had some mixed feelings on yesterday's race. Just because of everything that went down with the weather and NASCAR's decision making. But that you can find out more about how that went in uncutsportsnews.com. Knicks disappointed about what happened there. But hey, it's only game 1, right? There's no reason to panic. No reason to panic whatsoever. Trae Young, he did what he did. He won the game. Even got a little bit of help. But you know what? That's all right. We'll get him Wednesday. And I'm going to a real Yankee minor league game next week. So, Wednesday. So, I'm in a good mood.
For me, it was a very exciting week for sports. The Yankees swept the White Sox. Corey Kluber obviously threw a no-hitter, which was the first one I thought I ever saw as like a Yankee fan. I was very excited. I never thought I'd see that day come, but it did, and I was very happy. I was ecstatic. We beat the Rangers in a 3-1 series, and we swept the White Sox. 2 walk-off victories was good enough. Pitching has been dominant, especially starting pitching. Offenses get clicking a little bit. They're getting there. Knicks, I was a little disappointed last night, but I know we can pull it out in Game 2. I want to win Game 2, and I think Julius, Randle, and whoever's going to rebound. So obviously we'll pull the same formula as we did last week's show. But with that being said, obviously going along with the formula, we'll do record predictions more towards the end because, it's not going to take a lot of time like it did last week. And let's talk about the Knicks. Obviously, we all watched the game. We got to watch the game. Sean got to watch the game. He got to watch the TNT version. We got to watch the MSG version as well. With that being said, I'm not like the total basketball person like Luca is. I think he's the biggest basketball fan here, if we could honestly admit it. But I did watch the game yesterday as I was multitasking, and the Knicks had a horrible start. They could not shoot the ball. Yeah. The Hawks were going up and down the court shooting and obviously contesting shots from the Knicks. And then obviously they got their mojo back as the game went on. RJ and Julius didn't have the greatest of games. Julius probably had one of his worst as a Knick. Coming from this year, I'm not going to talk about last year because last year was a different story. And then Derrick Rose was pretty good. And unfortunately at the end with, the Trae Young fouls, I'm not going to comment a lot on that because I'm not that educated, in my opinion, to talk about that. But I think Ntilikina on the last play, he should have went to his left side and Trae Young's right and tried to contest that shot more rather than Trae Young just going out and getting in the layup. Sean, and then I'll hand it over to Luca, who has a lot of hatred for Trae Young.
Well, like I said, I actually got to watch the game yesterday. I was happy about that. I want to be able to see Game 2 because, again, I'm going to a game later this week. So, one thing that stood out to me, and I honestly think really is the reason that I think that they didn't win. 2 things. One of them actually Luca pointed out earlier that I agree with. If Randle had played better and if Barrett had played a little bit better, I think they would have won. My thing is, I think that rough start is the main reason. One of the main reasons I think they lost. I think if they got off to a hotter start, I think they could have I think they would have won. But it's the first time for a lot of these guys. One of their first times playing in the NBA playoffs. The nerves were there, as you could tell. So I'm not going to freak out too much about this loss because this is a new, young team that's still working through this. There's first for everything. And obviously this was a first for them. Hopefully we knock the rust off and hopefully we'll bounce back on Wednesday. But my two main factors, again, I think Trae Young got a little lucky with that last foul before he made the game-winning shot. I don't think that was a foul. I'm not, super knowledgeable when it comes to fouls, but that I knew wasn't. That was not. But I'm not going to make excuses. They won. Trae Young, you did what you did. You got your win. We'll just see what happens in Game 2. Luca?
I thought it was a disappointing game overall as I'm actually watching the Milwaukee Bucks and the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat are getting their ass kicked 46-20 in the first quarter.
God. In the first? What time? Is that on TNT?
Yes, it is on TNT. It looks like the Bucks might even score freaking almost 50 in the first quarter.
That's like putting it on rookie in freaking 2K. For 3. Nope, not quite. So that's crazy. Anyway, I'll let you go back to your point.
So I thought it was very disappointing overall. Well, let me just pull this up real quick. I'm actually pull up the box score to show you guys what went on. Let me do this. So as everybody knows, the Knicks lost by 2 points, 105-107. Trae Young had the biggest game. He averaged a double-double, putting on 35 points from 1 of 3 from downtown. I thought he would shoot more three-pointers, but the rest of their weapons went off from downtown. 10 assists, 9 free throws. 9 free throws. But anyway, that's not the point. Let me just mute that for a sec. Can this not be more annoying? So, very good night overall for the Hawks. They got, as Sean mentioned, they got off to the fast start. They were really clicking. John Collins was clicking early. Trae Young was dazzling in the paint. Clint Capella was grabbing offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, whatever. Bogdanovich had a good game. Gallinari struggled. Lou Williams really got it in the third quarter. And we go to the Knicks. Julius Randle did not have a good night. He shot 6 for 23, 2 for 6 from downtown. Actually, a very important 3 towards the end of the fourth quarter. He only put up 15 points. His plus-minus was a -5. I'm not going to panic. I know there are people panicking out there, which is kind of ridiculous. Yes, it's true. Yes, it was atrocious. We could always making these excuses. Julius Randle, first playoff game, you expect him to be better because of what he did in the regular season. People will remember you for what he did in the playoffs, not in the regular season, but I'm not panicking. He had an atrocious game, but I'm confident he can rebound. I'm very confident he can rebound. Reggie Bullock did not have a good game, 0 from 5 from downtown, played 19 minutes. Nerlens Noel had a good game until he was taken out with an injury towards the fourth. I think it was the fourth quarter, I believe. Elfrid Payton, I'm going to get into him in a little bit. RJ Barrett had a meh game, 14 points, 1 for 6 from downtown, 6 for 15 from the field, played 32 minutes. I thought his three-point shooting could have been a little bit better, but there was a little inconsistency with that. Again, he played meh, but he didn't exactly play bad. So I know Alex and Sean saw in one of our chats, I'm not going to mention names, that we're completely shitting on RJ Barrett because he does well in unimportant moments when the playoffs when the playoffs are really important moments, especially in early on. So then you had Obi Toppin, who had actually a very solid game. From the minutes we got, I think the Knicks should honestly play him more. 1 for 2 from downtown, including a dunk on Clint Capella. Taj Gibson had some solid minutes, but we needed more rim protection towards the end. That's what faltered us. Derrick Rose had a very solid game. The only thing that really hurt him was the 5 turnovers. Otherwise, he was just a freaking machine. Alec Burks, I have nothing to say about him, but freaking great job, dude.
Oh, he was
Great
amazing last night.
job. He was fucking amazing.
He was amazing.
26 minutes, 27 points, 6 for 8 from the free throw line, 3 for 5 from downtown, 9 of 13 from the field. He came up with all the clutch shots possible, except missing that one towards the end. I'm not going to get mad at him for that. He didn't cost us the game. And then we moved to Emmanuel Quickly, who was excellent, showed no fear whatsoever of the playoffs, and he really held his own. 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 2 from downtown, 10 points, 21 minutes. I think that's what he should be getting more often. And now I'm actually going to delve into Elfrid Payton.
Real quick, Luca, before you get into that, I just want to note something. I put on the MLB Network, and they're showing the Met game. You know the Rockies are going into this favorite to win tonight, and they're up 3-0.
How? They're easily the worst team.
I wish I knew, but again, this is the Mets we're talking about. Friggin' Lindor is swinging at bad pitches, so
he's been struggling.
Anyway,
and I'm sure
real quickly. I'm sorry to interrupt because I know I want to let Luca go on his Knick points for as long as possible. You know Tyler Wade has a better WAR. You know Tyler Wade has a better WAR than Francisco Lindor.
I saw that.
Yeah. Tyler Wade. I got a story to tell you guys. First, I really do want to hear what Luca's got to say about Elfrid Payton because Elfrid Payton. But then I got a little story to tell you guys about that no-hitter the other night.
Sure, just one second. I'm actually going to, if he's not watching, I'm going to try to invite Clutch B-Ball into the chat so we can talk a little more Knicks. So we can talk more Knicks in the chat. Just invite him. Overall, just give me 1 second here. All right, so now to get into the abomination of a basketball player by the name of Elfrid Payton. Boy, does he suck. And I could say that for any player. I've watched a lot of bad basketball players. I mean, I saw playing the last 2 years just playing on the Knicks. Ellington was bad. Portis was meh. I've seen a lot of bad players, but I'm sorry, he's the worst basketball player I've ever seen live. I'm not joking when I say that. This man plays with absolutely no fire whatsoever. He's just out there for being out there. You see, 8 minutes, 0 for 3. That he did not try yesterday. He did not try. 0 for 3, as I mentioned. You want to score at least some points, bud. You want to score some points. You want to actually drive to the rim with actual fire and pizzazz and actually get there and score points, be meaningful to this fucking team. Like, how does he get minutes is my question. He is the worst point guard in the NBA. And everybody's like, oh, Elfrid Payton only played 8 minutes, so what? Yeah, so what? This is the playoffs.
This is our starting point guard we're talking about.
Right. Yes, it's 8 minutes. I get it. But you know what? You can't afford to. I'm not saying Elfrid Payton was the reason for that bad start last night and when the Hawks outscored us really badly in the first quarter until we started catching up a little bit when D-Rose came in and everything started finessing and everything started to come together a little bit. But it's about how you – it's also how about – I get it. Everybody's going to come up with saying it's how you finish. Yeah, of course it's how you finish, but starting with Elfrid Payton is like putting a huge – burden on your team. Like you're gonna have to eventually come back from that. And how deep of a hole are you putting yourself every time? How deep of a hole are you putting yourself in every time Elfrid Payton is subbed in or even starting the game? You shouldn't even start anymore. It's so pointless. You shouldn't even be on this team. Start Frank or start Derrick Rose. That's it. That's without a question. Even Tibbs was non-committal about him. He just doesn't care, bro. He just doesn't care. And when the team is up chanting and the young guys are chanting for their team, standing up, whatever, he's just sitting in the corner with a towel over his head and doing fucking nothing. He is a loser. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he's a fucking loser. Fucking abomination of a basketball player. And yeah, that's pretty much that.
Obviously, like the fiery rant. And honestly, Sean, it wasn't me, or did you expect more of Luca's pizzazzy terms of rant towards Trae Young tonight?
Well, no, because we don't have the right to talk though because they beat us.
Do you want me to go? It's not. First of all, Trae Young's a prick, and he's a prick. Did he deserve to get booed? Absolutely. The fuck Trae Young chance.
He got the Altuve treatment.
Rightfully deserved. He's a fucking flopper. Everybody knows that, and anybody who says it.
Quick to note for those who watched the game, I saw a tweet yesterday from John Boy that said that there were some Knicks fans chanting some things about Altuve too. So clearly he hasn't left me. That's still there.
As you guys know, I absolutely loathe Trae Young. I absolutely hate him. But one thing that separates him from Porzingis is he's not a weak-minded person. He wants the fucking booze. He wants the attention.
He feeds off of it.
He feeds off of it. And that's why he played so well yesterday. I mean, he was going to play well regardless, but still, he's going to play well. He's going to do it. He's going to rub it in your face, even with the shushing of the crowd. But
what made that more surprising was the fact that it was his first ever playoff game. So I could see where Knicks fans were coming from, where they're trying to get in his head and catch him off guard. But unfortunately, it didn't work in our favor.
Yeah, he shouldn't.
By the way, shout out to Knicks fans last night. Anybody who went to the game, y'all brought the energy, and y'all made that game so amazing to watch. So, any Knicks fan that's been there, shout out to you guys. That was an amazing crowd last night. I will say that.
Real quickly before Luca continues, I'm going to credit Evan with something, and that is this. You are probably the only Nets fan, or one of the only Nets fans in this universe, to say this. Sorry about the Knicks.
I got one from a Nets fan, but he's pretty realistic too. He knows it's Jersey's team because he's from Jersey. So,
with that being said, real quickly before I let Luca do whatever, and I don't know if he was finished or if he wasn't finished. But with that being said, this is a funny tweet that actually one of my friends made that I've made along the way in my broadcasting / journalism journey. This is funny. You have to admit that this is funny.
I like that.
I'm not gonna lie.
And it does. You're absolutely right. It does look like him. Which, real quickly, I do want to make an announcement. I'm gonna try to get it set up next Sunday, but as of right now, I am calling the Yankee Red Sox game at 1:00 with Sox Arizona.
Very good.
When? Next Sunday, you said? Sunday. Is that Sunday Night Baseball?
That's Sunday Night Baseball?
Is it? That's what I'm asking.
Oh, that's
you said question. 1:00, Alex.
Well, I don't know the game time.
It's Yankee Red Sox, so it could be a Sunday nighter. I know Saturdays is on Fox, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they're on. They're most likely going to be on Fox, I think, next Saturday.
Sunday Night Baseball. You are right.
Yeah. So, I might be able to pop in for the second half of that game. I might be able to. I do have work, so if I'm not busy, I'll try to pop in.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get a template set up. Obviously, Luca will be with me since we're in Pennsylvania. It's going to be funny. Actually, wait. It might be actually, hold on, because...
Oh, yes, Evan. Corey Kluber was amazing the other night. I got a funny story to tell you about that game later.
And with that being said... because I was thinking, before you mentioned the possibility of it being on ESPN or anything like that, I was thinking because he lives in Arizona and he doesn't get the Red Sox, so he has to do the MLB.TV, blah,
he can see a game.
And I'm going to Pennsylvania, so I have to watch the game based off the Yes app.
Yeah.
So we're actually going to be maybe on time. But now that it's going to be on ESPN, I might have to watch it through the streaming thing. And then he gets the live version, which either he's partially...
Try to watch it live off of ESPN.
Well, I'm saying because sometimes it will be behind. If you stream it through Roku, sometimes it will be behind.
If you put it on... I was going to say, if you put your cable information for the ESPN app, you should be able to watch it there. So there is that.
No, that's not a doubt of mine. A doubt of mine was like whether I'm going to be fully caught up, but we'll see what happens next Sunday. Yeah. With that being said, Luca, you got any more final thoughts on this whole?
Well, I was going to talk about. Well, I finished my Trae Young personality rant. So, you guys have been hating on. You guys have been seeing me rant about Trae Young, how he flops and all that shit. But you know what? I'm not sure if they're watching this right now, but Clutch B-Ball TV, I was watching his little recap last night, and he brought up a very good point. Trae Young flops all the time, but he knows it works, and he knows it works every time. So that's why he does it. That you can actually blame on the NBA officials because they cannot get their shit together for any reason possible. And that is not the last foul that Sean was talking about was not a one you call in the playoffs. That's something you call in the regular season. If I have to show it, which I actually can show right now, which is actually I'm going to say courtesy of Make Knicks Great Again. I know it's weird, but I pulled up my Instagram on this computer, so I'm going to share what foul me and Sean.
How the hell did you do that? All right, whatever.
Instagram has. You can use Instagram on a computer. It's a little weird, but it's pretty much like Twitter.
All right, watch this.
It's stupid because you can't post. That would be so much easier for me.
No, you can.
Right. I can't.
Well, Well, I know I can.
On the computer?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a button for me to upload. I never bothered to try, but
yeah, please, everybody.
I think so many people
please explain to me how that's a foul, please.
All right, let's roll it again.
If anybody thinks this is a foul, please tell us in the chat how you think it's a foul. We would like to know.
All right, we're gonna.
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there. But still, it's the fucking NBA officials, bro. They've been terrible this year. I liken them to the MLB umpires. How bad they've been. Seriously.
It's almost been like a competition this year. Who could be worse, NBA officials or MLB announcers?
And of course, it had to come at the
announcers, not referees. I don't know how I said announcers.
Just to also mention, the Knicks challenged the call, and then that was not overturned, which was stupid. But anyway, not the point. And then we had to get Derrick Rose to tie the game. We all know what happened after that. Whatever. So, game 2, hoping for better.
Yeah. Tatum says, well, he sold it well. That's why it is a foul.
But yeah, it shouldn't be.
My point is Trae Young drew the contact. He pushed off of Barrett. Technically, that should be an offensive foul.
And
Michael Tavis got sent down to AAA. Huh.
What happened?
Michael Tavis got sent down to AAA.
He was one of their top prospects a few years ago.
Yeah,
that's disappointing.
Good, but
what was I going to say?
I was going to say, score update. The Bucks are beating the Heat 60-34 in the second quarter.
I'm glad we didn't have to face Milwaukee round 1.
Yes.
What was I going to say? So, Luca, do you want to implement any more thoughts about the NBA playoffs? Talk that stuff because I know you're obviously a bigger fan than me and Sean are. Have you any thoughts on Chris Paul beating LeMickey?
Well, I watched the NBA playoffs this weekend. I did watch majority of the games. Let me just retrack my mind, see what games there were. So Saturday's. Hold on, let me just wait for this to load. Being so slow right now. So Saturday's roundup of games. It was Milwaukee and Miami. I did watch that game. That was a classic. Chris Middleton with an unbelievable shot. Brooklyn Nets and Boston Celtics. I did watch that game. It was back and forth.
There were more Celtics fans than there were Nets fans.
Yeah, I heard a Celtics just watching and listening to the game. And the Nets eventually pulled away. They won by double digits, I believe. Let me just come on. All right. So,
oh, you go.
All right, here you go. Here's the bracket. So Saturday was Denver, Portland. I didn't watch that game. I mean, I think I watched some of it. Dallas and the Clippers. I know Doncic went off. Porzingis was and the Clippers really didn't have an answer for Doncic and Jalen Brunson. Sunday, I was mostly on the game of Phoenix and the Lakers, while I think the Philly-Washington game was before that. I did watch the Washington Wizards versus 76ers game. That was pretty entertaining. Philly eventually pulled away because Washington kept turning over the ball. Russell Westbrook kept ISOing, but that's not the point. Phoenix and the Lakers, I was rooting on Phoenix, and they did win. But I don't think Cameron Payne should have been ejected. There was a little scrum in there, but you got LaFlop being LaFlop, so I'm happy.
Yeah,
a lot of people are underrating Phoenix, but I hope they win that series.
But he has another name, Luca. What's him and his teammate's name?
What?
What's him and his teammate's name? LaFlop is also known as
LaFlop, which is LaMickey, and then you got A Disney, which is trending all over Twitter yesterday. Anthony Davis did not have a good game yesterday, but anyways. You have the floor, Alex.
Can't seem to stay healthy.
So we can twist this into a multitude of topics. Potato says Porzingis was shit.
I heard about that.
Yeah. He actually pulled up the stats in the Discord or something like that. I want to say he was like 4 for 13 from the floor or something like that. I don't know. But I remember him pulling up the stats in the Discord chat. With that being said, I think I'm going to get baseball out of the way before we go to the football standpoint a little bit, because we'll be ending or going to record predictions. For that, we'll be talking about Julio Jones, Aaron Rodgers, and Deshaun Watson. And then obviously right now, I guess we'll talk about the Yankees, where I could give Sean the floor and he could talk about it. And if you want to, I know you were pretty pissed off last week, Sean, about the whole Yermin Mercedes thing. If you want to talk about it, whether you want to rant or just discuss it a little bit, just to give your thoughts on it, you have the floor.
I'll start with the Yankees, first of all. They've looked outstanding the last last bunch of games. We had the no-hitter, which I'll get into that. I'll tell you that story now before we go any further. So it was still like, I want to say, Alex, it was like the 6th inning. Tyler Wade was up to bat. It was the inning the Yankees went up in front. So I was trying to irritate Alex, because Alex like, oh, here we go. Here's Wade, probably going to do nothing. No hope. Sounded like a typical Giants fan, but he
excuse me, no.
Well, basing off your Twitter, I have a valid point. Your the Giants Twitter, I mean.
Fan base, not
so. I started to annoy him. Like, you know what, Wade, I believe in you. I think you're gonna get a hit. I think you're gonna help us win. I believe in you. I was being all positive and energetic. Like, yeah, Wade's gonna do this. Watch this. He drove in the run on a triple. My jaw hit the floor, and I've been bragging about it ever since. And then Wade scored shortly after. Because if it wasn't for Tyler Wade, Yankees might not have won that game against Texas in the no-hitter. So, Alex, I think you got a little apology to make.
Alex, what do you have to say for yourself?
First of all,
what do you got to say yourself about doubting my boy Tyler Wade?
Okay. As much as I should be apologizing, you should be apologizing to the both of you.
Well, I believe in him.
Don't make this, it's about Alex because he's the anchor of the show.
You hated him the most, Alex.
Real quick,
Alex,
don't intercept the host. Don't intercept the host like that. Guys,
why we run the
show? Baseball discussion, you guys can touch on stuff off topic related to sports, fast food, or any of the stuff. No politics, obviously. With that being said, you two have been trashing Tyler Wade as much as I have. So where the hell?
Yeah, but then I took it. I eventually started taking a side, as you can see, and look what happened. I was positive, and he got hit. And don't forget too, Wade got a hit yesterday. He was part of that win yesterday.
He loaded the bases with a single.
Clint Frazier had 3 hits, and you're not talking about him. But no, let's talk about Tyler Wade.
I didn't see the whole game. I saw the Wade hit. That's all. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
I didn't get home until the 9th inning. I
don't think he even had a hit. And actually, no. Yes, he did. Never mind.
Yeah. So, Anyway, I'll get back to the point. Yankees,
Real quickly,
they look great.
About the Kluber game, our level of superstition, and it was
it went up.
Well.
Yeah.
So going into the eighth, ninth inning,
we were in denial.
We were in denial just to keep it superstitious. And with that being said, I'm like, you know what? I don't know why they're putting this moment on climax. You know,
he gave up hit. We can say it.
Why are they talking about he has a no hitter? He's given up 3 hits already. And I made a bet with Sean where
we were making up. Well, I created the bet.
Okay, he created the bet, and I followed it. That if Kluber finished with the no hitter, I got to eat my Frosted Flakes. Because I like eating Frosted Flakes at night. Don't judge me. It's good.
He's got an addiction problem. He's got an addiction problem for cereal.
I have not eaten cereal in years. It's been a long time. And with that being said, if Kluber did not get the no-hitter, I could not get any Frosted Flakes. With that being said, us going into the 9th inning, superstition, then we screamed when he got the no-hitter, and it was a fun time. But I'll let Sean go back on the floor.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. You know, the Yankees, there was the first no-hitter since 1999. First away no-hitter since 1923, which is amazing. That's a crazy fact. But they've looked great. They took down one of the best teams in the American League. Very happy about that. I think people are kind of sleeping on us right now because of how bad we started. But that kind of a win against Texas with a no-hitter, that gives you some hope. That should give you some hope. Like, man, maybe this team could be something, you know. So a lot of excitement. Again, sweeping the White Sox was big. Now we welcome the Blue Jays for 3 as they are making the move up to Buffalo after today's loss to the Tampa Bay Rays. I quickly want to get into this discussion point quick because I know I'm really eager to get to, the scheduling predictions. The fact that this is even still a discussion, obviously, I'll go around the table with this one. Yermin Mercedes, the 3-0 home run. I know this is about almost a week old now, but because we're only on once a week, it's a talking point. I really want to get into it. It's a new game. It happens. You don't like it? Don't put yourself in that position. That's all. You know, the Pirates lost 20-1. No, this is not a Pirates shirt. This is a Steelers shirt. Pirates lost 20-1 the other day. I ain't hear no complaining. I get there were no 3-0 home runs or whatever, but the Braves were just running all over them. I didn't hear nothing. Why are we making a big deal about this? And Tony, okay, even if you support the unwritten rule, why is Tony La Russa crapping on his own guy to the media? Oh, he's going to be disciplined. You know, I don't mind that Tyler Duffy threw it up. You're giving the advantage to the rival, who I guarantee you, and I'm definitely not the only one saying this, was probably told to go out and throw at him by his manager because they knew Tony La Russa is not going to do nothing about it. It's one thing to discipline someone for an unwritten rule. It's another thing that's how you lose your locker room. It's another thing to completely just be like, oh, okay, especially to a rival, no less. I don't know much about the Twins-White Sox rivalry. I just know that they're in the same division. But a division opponent is a rival. It doesn't matter how you look at it, you know. And to give that edge, no, you can't do that. I get it. He's an old school manager. But it's a new game. He shouldn't have come back to the league to begin with. You know, that's just how I look at it. I was more heated about this the other day because of the fact that we actually had to have this discussion. It's really frustrating because it's a new game. It really is. You know, and again, if you don't like it, don't put yourself in that position. When you're putting in a guy throwing 47-mile-an-hour pitches, you're going to get what's coming. And you've earned it. You did it to yourself. So, you know, let the kids have fun. That's pretty much what it's going to come down to. If you don't like it, don't put yourself in the position. I've said it over and over again because I mean it. we've all played the game. You guys still do. I don't play anymore, but I still get it. If I'm in a situation where I'm getting blown out, they should make you suffer because you did it to yourself. You need to use that and think, all right, I don't want that to happen again. That pissed me off. Let me go out there. Let's get our revenge. That's how you need to look at it. Like, oh, he hurt my feelings because he hit a 3-0 home run. Don't put yourself in the position. Don't. Use that as motivation for the next time you go out there. Use it to think, oh, you know what? Let's try to score 13 runs in the 9th inning. Instead of just, oh, let me put in a position player and think, all right, whatever, it's over. That mindset is horrible. It really is. And if you're, on the other side where you're thinking, I want to keep hitting homers, do it. No lead is safe. I don't care if it's 40-2, 60-2, 80-1. I don't care. You do not take your foot off the gas pedal. That's like if you're in racing and you're on the verge of winning a race and you decide, oh, I'll take my foot off the gas. I'm a whole 4 seconds ahead of them, and then the next thing you know, they pass you for the win. That's ridiculous. The fact that we even need to have this discussion anymore is so unbelievably frustrating. It really is. You don't like it? Play better. Play better. What more is there to say? So I'll ask you guys this first, and I think I'll hit Alex first because I know he pitches more than Luca does, just from what I've been told. If you're a pitcher, late in your game, and you're getting blown out, say it's against whoever you guys play, Bushwick, Port Richmond, whatever, and you're getting blown out, and you got a 3-0 count, someone hits a home run off of you. Is that something you're going to get mad at? Is it something that you're going to complain about, an unwritten rule? Or are you going to think, you know what? That was a bad pitch. Let me go after him the next. Alex, I'll let you answer this for yourself. How are you handling a 3-0 bomb?
Sean, you hear? Excuse me, Luca, you hear that?
When you're getting blown out, how would you react?
Okay, so I know the question. I don't know if Sean's still here. He might be crapping out in a couple of seconds. He might come back in a couple of seconds. I don't know. Now he's here. Now I can see him. Okay. For right now, Alex? We're good. He's. I think he's in another dimension. Luca, do you agree with me?
Yes. You heard the question,
now
right?
He's here.
I started lagging as soon as I.
And he's gonna get off. He's gonna get
all right,
off.
Put him back on.
Yeah. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to continue with the subject. With that being said, here's how I look at it, and here's how I interpret that stuff. So obviously, Sean mentioned I'm a pitcher, as he is making his way back right now. Hi, Sean. How you doing?
I don't understand. Literally, it's cloudy, and now we're gonna have problems.
So I'll go off what Sean was saying. I'll go off what Sean was saying about me being a pitcher. So about 2 years ago, we faced this team, mostly Dominicans, and this is not being racist or anything. That's what they were. They're Dominicans. Dominicans are really good at baseball. And this ain't no stereotype or anything, so don't try to fucking cancel me like that because I will kick your ass.
Yeah.
With that being said,
I'm about to take you down for that. You're going to take us down.
You know what? I'll put up a battle. With that being said, we face this team, and this team likes to blow out a lot of teams. This was 2 years ago in junior varsity. So I was chosen. The starting pitcher didn't come that day. He crapped on the team last minute and said, I don't know, he wasn't feeling well or something like that. I think it was a bullshit excuse. That's not the point right now. So 2 years ago, I was chosen to be the starting pitcher against this team who hit really well. So they didn't have a fence in center field. It was basically a football field turned baseball field. Luca, if you can you get me the picture of that field? You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. So they must have hit at least 3 home runs off of me and how many RBIs and stuff like that, and I must have walked a lot of players. I was more mad at my team, specifically my center fielder, and he knows this to this day, for not playing in terms of effort at the time, rather than the other team, cheering on their team and doing stuff because they had the right. They were a better team than us. So I wasn't mad.
Search my screen.
Yeah. So with that being said, okay, this is it, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically here for the people. Okay, so yeah. So here's basically the baseball field. The center fielder is like here. The ball went all the way over here. That's why I was mad, because he lacked a lot of effort that day. My point is like I was mad at my own team more than I was mad at, obviously I was mad at myself. I wasn't doing that great. I'm a better pitcher now than I was 2 years ago, because 2 years ago I had a problem with, I was always throwing like cock shots, for lack of better words. Not terms are right down the plate, but
yeah.
Say, I don't know, lack of better words. Say this Pepsi can was a baseball, and I know this is, screwing up with the green screen, whatever. I would roll the baseball because it's a mental mistake. Because in warmups, I would be fine. In the real game, when the hitter is in the box, I would be like, I'm not trying to hit him, so I would roll the ball. And that's why my release point was so off. And that's why they hit so many friggin' home runs off of me. But back to the actual subject of the conversation. You cannot like your own player hitting a home run on 3-0. Listen, we all get disagreements, and I'm not defending it because obviously I would agree with that. And I've seen parts in my day of baseball where teams stop stealing off of other teams because they're beating the living shit out of them. With that being said, Tony La Russa, I don't know what your problem is. They're going to go out and insult your own rookie catcher I don't care what media you're in. I don't care if you're in Kansas City. I don't care if you're in California. I don't care if you're in the middle of nowhere in Washington. I don't care. You don't insult your own player. You don't do that. Unless he made a serious mistake. Or Chicago. Unless he made some serious mistake, you do not say that to the media, because the media will make the biggest, thing about it.
Especially when you're on the verge of becoming a legitimate contender, which if they're fully healthy, they can be. Yeah. So, and you're the third biggest, I shouldn't say third biggest, one of the biggest markets in the country, in Chicago, right behind New York, LA, and probably Boston.
So with that being said, let me continue. I don't agree with him trashing his own player. Now, he apologized to the other team. Am I correct on that?
No, yes. Because, okay, so here's what he said at first. I don't know what happened after. At first, he said he's swinging every time, no matter what, until Tony La Russa said something. So if he did apologize, I do not know.
No. I'm talking about Tony La Russa. Did Tony La Russa apologize to the Twins?
To the Twins, yes, he did.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about Mercedes.
Let's start off that basis. Tony La Russa apologized to Twins. I would never apologize to another team unless somebody was hit intentionally, whatever. You don't apologize to fucking the opposing team or rival. I don't care who it is. You don't apologize for something as stupid as that. That's obviously part one. Now, the next day, and I saw this was exactly when it came out, and obviously I turned on MLB Network after, and Tyler Duffy throws behind Yermin Mercedes back. Mm-hmm. And we all saw it, and he got thrown out of the game. So, to point out before I point out his response, and I know I'm taking a little long with this. Before I get to La Russa's response, Tyler Duffy throws behind Mercedes back, which means that obviously they heard everything coming from the media and stuff like that. They didn't care about Tony La Russa's fake, phony apology. And it wasn't fake, but it was real. My point is, it shouldn't have been done. But they got the point.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
They got the point about the apology, but they didn't care. They still threw behind Yermin Mercedes back. Tostitos, really?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, let me continue without you banging on things. With that being said, Okay, I'm gonna mute you till I'm finished because I seriously can the fact that he's eating Tostitos and that he's mixing up the bag and shit. Anyway, my point is that now he after the game he goes out and says, "Well, I would have thrown it his head, not his chest." You don't say that about your own player. You don't say it to the media. I don't care who you're talking about. Now you threw your own player under the bus and you're targeting. Listen. 1 point, okay. He apologized.
I do want to touch on something.
We're on step 1 now. He apologizes to his team. They don't care. They throw behind his back anyway. Now you're telling them, as a manager, if I even took the first couple of steps in that and apologized to the team, I would be livid that my player got thrown at, knowing I apologized to the team. But no, Tony La Russa goes, nah, I would have thrown at his head, not his chest. I wonder if he saw what happened.
At the head is wrong. Throwing at the head is wrong, and Kevin Pillar is a perfect example. You could kill someone like that. You guys would understand better because you guys are pitchers. How scary that can be. That's a few.
Alex did that once in recent history.
Yeah. No, you can't. I don't. If you're gonna throw at someone, fine, whatever. It's throwing at somebody. It depends on the what's going on. You don't throw at the head. I'm Pedro Martinez. I'm looking right at you because I remember after the Yankee Red Sox fight 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago, he was promoting it on MLB Network. For some reason, everybody loves this man. I don't understand why. I think Pedro Martinez is a scumbag, and I never even watched him play in person. So, I'm sure if you talk to any old school fan, they'll tell any old school Yankee fan. It's Pedro Martinez is the problem. But back to the point, as I'm actually watching, a little bit of the Met game. No, you don't throw at nobody's head. And I do want to quickly touch on, too, La Russa also crapped on another player of his, which, Alex, I think you were alluding to anyway. Lance Lynn goes, what the heck did he say? I lost my train of thought. Lance Lynn, pretty much said, it's 3-0, it's going to happen. It's part of our game. Something like that. You guys could obviously correct me or find the tweet. La Russa responds with, he has a locker, I have an office. Enough said. He's going to lose that locker room. According to Tim Anderson, the locker room's fine, but I don't see how it can be fine when you have your own manager crapping on your own team. That's not the sign of a healthy organization. I don't understand what the long-term idea was for the White Sox to bring back someone who's in their 70s when they were a very young team on the verge of competing. But Alex, I'll let you get back to your point.
Well, I finished my point, but remember, it was a couple months ago, and this has literally almost nothing to do with the topic, but it has because it's the White Sox. Luca, basically me and you were talking about, Rick Renteria should have been fired. Luca goes, yeah, he should have been fired. And then I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if he did or not. Sean, you're going to have to back me up with this. Did Luca like the La Russa hire or no?
No, you're thinking of when we were defending ourselves and saying that they shouldn't have fired the manager from last year. That's what you're thinking of. Me and Luca were saying.
What is it, my turn?
We'll get to you. Don't worry. No, he wants to know when his turn is up. We'll get to you in a sec. We'll let Alex finish.
I just have one more thing to point out. God damn, I think I lost that point. Thank you, Luca, for interrupting me. God damn.
Will be gone.
Okay, now I get the point, and then I'll bet against
it. Evan, I wouldn't bet against it. I don't see why they brought him back in the first place. I like old school, but not like that. Not that old school.
I'm a person who's old school. I'm a person who's not a fan of the analytics and the Aaron Boone's and Kevin Cash of this world. Aaron Boone obviously is a manager, sure, not the usually analytics. It's not just him as a front office, whatever. I'm not a fan of that. But the fact that Tony La Russa exhibits what he is exhibiting right now with his team, not in terms of a winning standpoint, but of a locker room standpoint, makes me think that these managers are, the old managers like Buck Showalter. A lot of people would say, oh, that's a bad hiring. That's a bad hiring, just because La Russa may not work out in Chicago because of what he said. So that honestly puts a bad rep on the managers who are old school. And
Exactly.
That's unfortunate because I'd rather a Buck Showalter. Maybe in these days we'll see if he gets a job. I don't think he will because I think he's like, 68 years old? He's managed
he's pretty much,
like freaking
pretty much
5 different teams. Yeah, but, I'd rather him than a Gabe Kapler. I mean, Gabe Kapler is having some success with the Giants over in San Francisco, which honestly is surprising because he is a pancake of a manager.
That's a pass-up prime team. That's a pass-up prime team somehow pulling wins out of their ass.
But him, I don't have respect for Gabe Kapler because he's not a manager. He's a placeholder. So, with that being said, I'm going to go to Luca in his long-awaited point.
Well, first of all, I'm going to say that Wednesday night will be Brian Anderson doing the call for the Knicks game, first of all. Second of all, Fox Sports declined to comment on exactly what happened with Shannon Sharpe and Julio Jones today. Alex, I'm sure we'll get into that later, right?
I saw that. Yeah, we'll get into that in a bit. Alex, do you know about that? What happened with Julio Jones?
What happened, yeah.
All right, yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. All right.
So, first of all, I actually looked at my phone just now. Right now, the Athletics are visiting Portland for the relocation thing.
No, it's going to be Vegas. I'm sorry. It's where else can they go? Every Oakland team is pretty much leaving. I think they should. I hate the fact that Oakland's losing their sports teams, but not Portland. I don't understand Portland. I'm not making this political.
Why would you go to Portland when Las Vegas exists? You get more money.
Vegas is a bigger market. Again, I'm not trying to make this political about Portland and stuff. Anybody could take that how they want. It's just not a big sports market. I mean, Vegas is the gambling capital of the world. That's where all the bets come from. Vegas is I mean, you'll have to build a dome because it's in the middle of freaking desert, but I don't get Portland. I really don't. We'll get back to your point.
Real quickly, the O'Donnell Coliseum is one of the worst. So, yes.
Their field is absolute ass.
It's still debatable with Tropicana Field. I mean, the field conditions are a little bit better in the Trop, but Trop also, you can't even hit a fly ball without something getting messy.
To add to that point, before we go back to Luca, remember that one year where they were broadcasting the Yankees and the power was out?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Bad.
I think I honestly would take Oakland Coliseum over the Trop.
So, back to my point. I was watching Rich Eisen, I think it was yesterday, the day before, one of those days. So he discussed the topic of La Russa and all of that. So he says, I could understand Yermin Mercedes Tony La Russa getting mad at Yermin Mercedes for ignoring his sign. That's something he can understand. But he says, in baseball, the objective of the batter is to hit the ball, whether it's 3-0 and if it's a pitch right down the middle. And to say, because I'm a little bit of a pitcher, I pitched one game this year. Whether it's Williams Astudillo or Jose Barrios or whoever, don't get pissed off at the hitter. Don't get pissed off at the hitter for swinging 3-0 and hitting one to the center field wall, home run, whatever. You put yourself in that position. You put yourself in 3-0 position. You didn't throw strikes.
You did not 47 miles an hour.
Well, still, but anyway, you put yourself in that position. You should be pissed off at yourself for not making better pitches. Or do whatever you need to do.
Or just putting in a position player to begin with.
It's one thing if you dislike the unwritten rule as a manager, like Tony La Russa or Rocco Baldelli, whoever. But you don't go out there and completely sandbag your team, your player. You don't do that, especially when you're trying to earn their respect in the first year of managing. You don't do that. You sandbagged Yermin Mercedes because he not only because he ignored the sign, but he swung on 3-0. What unwritten? Why? Why do you have to sandbag your player when he was just doing his job, hitting the ball? He got you.
And he roasted Lance Lynn.
He roasted
Lance Lynn, saying, "Oh, you're not." Pretty much saying you're not on my level. So
he got it. He got a
Your
home run
opinion
for
on that?
Christ's sake. The man's trying to improve his Rookie of the Year odds, which he probably can. He probably will win. But in another sense, Lance Lynn disagreed with Tony La Russa, and Sean obviously mentioned what La Russa said. This guy has a locker. I have an office. End of story. But he's just burning his bridges with a team that barely. Well, first of all, they shouldn't have been hired. First of all, I'm going to go back to my White Sox point when Alex and Sean were saying that Renteria should have been fired. I didn't feel like he was a winning manager for the time, and I don't think he was a fit for that team. But no way in hell. You know what? Just give me a sec. Because my cat's being annoying.
Of course. No, it's sad that we really have to have this discussion. It really is, because it's a new game. We all look at this. We all prefer the old school style of play, but with a new school mix.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, it almost feels like it's one or the other with baseball, and it's really depressing.
Well, I'm actually I was going to reintroduce my point, but anyway, the White Sox, you could argue, make the mistake, whatever, firing Renteria. I don't think Renteria was a winning manager. He's good enough for bringing them to the playoffs. I think they would have made the playoffs in a 162 regular season game season, like if it was a normal year. But anyway,
right.
La Russa was not the hire they should have made. And it was apparent that Jerry Reinsdorf was trying to cover up for a mistake that he made how many years ago or whatever. I don't know the story. A Chicago fan could probably tell me that, but he was nowhere near who they should have hired. They should have hired somebody like I don't know who was available at
anybody.
Buck Showalter would have even been better. La Russa's been out of the game since 2011. You don't want to pull somebody back into the game when they've been out for so long. Look what the Raiders freaking did with John Gordon. How was that turned out? Mike McCarthy was out for a year, but
look at his fucking philosophy. Mike Nolan too, the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. Their defense was trash. Like our high school team and Sean's high school team combined could probably make a better defense than the Dallas Cowboys last year.
Yeah. But the point Luca's trying to make is, Gruden was out of the league a really long time. McCarthy was only 1 year. Yeah. So, it's completely different game from 10 years ago. And you can't, it's hard to jump back in. It really is. And it's being proven, obviously, the White Sox are a better team in their league compared to the Raiders. The Raiders are still a joke, and they got no sort of future ahead. We've already discussed that, and we'll probably discuss that later, too, in the predictions. But, no, it's completely different now. And La Russa, baseball is probably taking the biggest drastic on-field change. Yeah, he was. Baseball is probably taking the biggest on-field change of the sports. I really believe that. I truly 110% believe that. And it's not La Russa's game anymore. They were showing the other day the lineups from his very, very first game he managed, I think, and it had, Joe DiMaggio in the lineup and stuff like that. You guys get the point where I'm going with this. He shouldn't be in a manager's role anymore. He really shouldn't.
Tony, I'm going to make a point about something. Tony La Russa first managed in 1979 with the White Sox. I mean, wait, hold on. Yeah, he first managed in 79. So that should honestly tell you something.
Yeah.
Guys, 76 years old. I mean, let's see how old Showalter is. He's 64, and he first managed the Yankees in 92. So that is a good distance, but I'm not saying, he should come back or anything. My point, okay, so I'm going to stretch this to a different point. Say you have, not going to happen. Actually, hold on. Say you have, for my favorite purposes, or maybe someone else's, whatever, Chris Gittin's up. Or you could say Estevan Florial. They're in their first at bat. It's 15-0 Yankees. Say they're facing. Let's go with the Twins, for example. Williams Astudillo, pitching for the third time this year. Gives up a long ball. Chris Gittins homers, first major league home run. If that was the situation for Yermin Mercedes and he hit his first major league home run, would Tony La Russa still be as mad? And let me ask another question. Did Aaron Boone throw Mike Ford under the – excuse me. No, there wasn't a 3-0 situation, so I can't really say that. But
you could say up how many?
Yeah. The Indians were up how many when we went to the game? They hit homers off Mike Ford.
19-5.
Get mad at the other team? No, because we got our ass kicked that day.
You can even compare it to the Fernando Tatis situation. He hit the 3-0 grand slam. Make your arguments, whatever. But you don't see their manager talking about, in the media, he's going to be disciplined for this. That was wrong. That was disrespectful. We respect our opponents. No. It's not that I can remember. But, no, Alex, you're right. We went to a game where it was an absolute abomination. But, you didn't hear Aaron Boone going and talking about, they should have played down. They're taking it too far now. Just let it go. It's over. First off, you never say a game is over. Yogi Berra's saying has a purpose behind it. Game ain't over till it's officially over. And I really 110% believe that. Unless it's physically impossible. But in baseball, anything is possible. There ain't no clock. NBA, NFL, NHL, different story. Then you can officially say a game is over when there's like 2 minutes left and you're down by whatever. Baseball, there's no clock. For all we know, if I remember correctly, the final score was 16-4. For all we know, the Twins could have came and scored 15 runs in the 8th inning or something. You can't rule out a comeback. And we learned last year from watching the dreadful Yankees last year how many leads they blew. 7-2 to the Mets. Who remembers that one? Everybody thought that game was over. Blue Jays. There were plenty of games like that last year. The game is not over until you've gotten 27 outs. And even if you got to go to extra, get 30 outs, 36 outs, whatever, make your arguments there. You guys get my point. The game's not over till it's over. Baseball, there's a reason there's no clocks in baseball, even though they're trying to include pitchers' clocks, but we ain't going to talk about that. It's really what it's come down to.
So, with that, I will probably wrap up that sort of the discussion, the conversation, because we wrapped up the Yankees, wrapped up Yermin Mercedes talk for this week. So, let's talk about football, which we're going to bridge into our record predictions because it should take less time, and obviously,
sure. Definitely we'll get close to finishing tonight. If not, we'll get it all done.
Yeah, it's going to probably happen next week or something.
Alex, I'm going to ask you a question.
Without the Tostitos.
Yeah, please.
Let me just pin the bag real quick. Done with the Tostitos for now. Is there any time where you're going to? Is there any time where you're going to go live for a Knicks game?
I can. I mean,
you will.
Yeah. What's there?
Well, the next game is Wednesday, which I won't. If you guys do it, I won't be here because I'll be at the Rail Rider game.
Aren't they? Listen, one question though. I mean, we'll see what happens. Aren't they calling for rain on Wednesday?
Only like a 30% chance. It's not much, but if it does get rained out by any chance, obviously I can't go Thursday. So if they make it up on Thursday, I wouldn't be able to do that unless I call out of work, which I don't think I'm getting away with because it's Memorial Day weekend. But if they move it to like Friday or something, then I will probably still end up going. All depends on the weather.
I'm talking in terms of Wednesday because I have a game then too.
Yeah, no, like I said, I only saw a 30% chance, so I don't even think it's gonna be hot though. It's gonna be like 91 in Scranton or Music on. That's what the town's called, Music, where they play on Wednesday. So it's gonna be hot.
Let me just ask this. So I'm actually reading the Weather Channel report, 67% chance of rain on Wednesday. Again, weather is very variable. You don't know what's going to happen, even though there are forecasts. Let's just say the SWB game is canceled and we get home in time. You think we can all live stream and get on for the game?
Personally, I'd be down. We'll work something out with that. All right, we'll see if it does get rained out. We'll see if we decide what we're gonna do about that. So we'll figure that out. So, guys, keep an eye on the Big Blue in the Bronx Twitter because we'll have an announcement for that if indeed. I mean, again, even if I'm not home, these guys could always still end up streaming. It just means I won't be here for most of it. We'll see what happens.
I know Joseph Bobby will be sad.
Or maybe Alex, you can get Clutch B-Ball TV on here. See if he wants to.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll figure something out. And even if it's not game 2, maybe we'll wait until if it's a game 7,
Oh my God! If it's a game 7, we must go.
We're gonna be here. We'll definitely 110% be here if it's a game 7. But for the rest of the games, we'll follow the Big Blue in the Bronx Twitter, and we'll keep you updated on that. But anyway, we'll get back to what we were talking about. Alex, you want to get into football before we do the rest of our schedule predictions.
So obviously, Julio Jones thing happened, and now there's trade rumors, but now something happened.
Well, explain what happened first.
Well, do you want to explain what happened?
Okay, fine. So it was being discussed about Julio Jones trade rumors on Skip and Shannon today. So Shannon actually calls Julio Jones on live air.
Not realizing he was on the air.
Not realizing he was on the air. Shannon didn't even tell him he was on live air. I don't know if that's illegal. I don't know if it is legal. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
I'm pretty sure technically it was recorded, so yeah, it is illegal.
I'm not going to question it or whatever, do whatever. But anyways, so Julio Jones says he's long gone from Atlanta. He wants to win ball games. And then Adam Schefter comes out with a report saying that Julio Jones asked for a trade months ago, and Atlanta's listening to offers. They want a first-round pick. So, Alex,
he goes to New England, we're going to cry. That's all I'm going to say. He goes to New England, I'm going to cry.
With that being said, TD's back. What's up, boys? Yeah. You cool if I ask a few? Listen, basketball, football, baseball, freaking food questions. We take them all. Whatever topic we do, we'll take them all. Obviously, you asked some great questions.
Our only rule about topics, no politics. That's it. That's our only rule. Other than that, you can pretty much bring up and try to keep it at least a little PG. We don't want to. We're not trying to get taken.
He's usually good with the questions. With that being said, you were going on about a Fox Sports statement.
Well, Fox Sports stated that they didn't give a comment in towards to that whole thing.
So
let's see what happens then. That could be
illegal. If it wasn't illegal, or if it wasn't, if he didn't know he was being on air, I guess there wouldn't be so much controversy around it. But in my personal opinion, if he gets traded to New England, if he does, I don't think it's going to work. My personal opinion, because I don't think.
I'll say this.
Sure.
Before you get to your New England point, I'll say this. If they trade Julio Jones, at that point, that's when I think Atlanta needs to blow it up.
They needed to blow it up already.
Exactly. They should have blown it up years ago. After 2017, maybe, that was it. Or even 2018, if you want to make that argument. But if they indeed trade Julio like they're talking to, which if I had to personally guess, excuse me, I would say San Francisco, because San Francisco is interested in literally everybody every time there's a trade rumor. I'll say San Francisco will be my pick for where he would go. Alex, I'll ask you this since you're the Giants fan here. I've heard Giants fans want Julio. What do you got to say? It's like the same thing with Watson.
See, the thing me and my buddy Keith disagree on is the amount of he believes in. Now, people could call me a homer and whatever, but he believes in a lot of potential trades for the Giants. Like, I think he believed in trading for Julio Jones, giving up Darius Slayton like a 2 and a 3. He also believes in trading for Aaron Rodgers. which he wants to give up like a 1, a 3, or something like that.
Rip your salary cap.
Yeah, and this obviously I knew rumors were going to come out on the Giants, this, that, and the other thing. So obviously there's this idiot, and I will call him anything I want because I think he's not a good beat reporter. His name is Matt Lombardo. So I basically said this on Twitter. If you guys haven't already followed the Twitter, all of the social media is in the description. Also, I mean, I know Luca doesn't actually know. Luca does use Twitter. Sean doesn't. So if you want to put your Instagram in the chat or something like that.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram and I'm on Snap.
Also,
I got the same username. Yeah, I am.
All right, so let me pull up my Twitter. Here's what I said. He basically made an article about how the Giants should get Julio Jones. And I said this, Giants should get Julio Jones. Come on. With this tactic, they'll be in the Eagles situation, and the fans and the beat writers will wonder why. I don't understand where people, they think this is Madden. They think this is, this is just a game. Yeah. It's a gimmick. It's not Madden. It isn't Madden where you just put off the salary cap. It's not like that. Julio Jones, what the guy's like, what, 32, 30? How old is this guy?
He's up there in age.
He's up there in age. So for the Giants to get him for a few more years, and then the salary cap, and then oh my God, it's Dave Gettleman's fault. And even I really love the fact that the Giants are not doing what their freaking fans say. Because if that happened, we'd be 0-16 every season, 0-17, excuse me. Yeah. I mean, the amount of trades, it's amazing. It really is amazing. And this idiot, he's a clickbait guy. He is. I will tell him to his face if he decided to come on, which he wouldn't. If he decided to come on the show, I say, hey, you're clickbait. You're not a good beat reporter. You're an Eagles fan writing for the Giants. That's literally what he is. I'm not even joking when I say that. Because I questioned him a couple of months ago. Giants should trade for Deshaun Watson. I remember when that crap was coming out. And I basically said, really? The salary cap's going to blow up. And then he was like, oh, it's only $30 million over this year, and the salary cap blow up only. And, in the years coming, they're going to have the TV deal. Well, we signed Kenny Galladay, Adoree Jackson in the future, so you still want to go after Watson, Matt Lombardo? Come on. Stop with this crap.
Alex, what are you going to do if damn it, what are you going to do if the Eagles trade for Watson?
Cry.
No, I'm not going to cry because literally it will be a like to his situation in Houston.
Yeah, he's not going to Philly.
If he went to Philly, I think they'd crap. At least the people in Houston, from what I know, are not crapping on him. If he did this in Philly, boy, you would have a lot of people freaking.
Oh God! I'd have to board up the windows.
Yeah,
I'd have to board up the windows.
Board up the windows, freaking pitchforks and torches and shit like that. With that being said, if Watson was actually good to go to Philly, I'm not scared of it because what? You have one target in Devonta Smith, who's not even proven. I'm not scared of the Eagles. They're, in my personal opinion, biased or no bias, however you guys want to take this, I think they're going to be one of the worst teams in the league.
Eagles, I can see it. I wouldn't say, I don't know if I can go the worst. I think we'll have to finish our predictions to really do that. But, all right.
I got a good question. You don't need to spend too much time on it. Obviously, injuries happen. You don't wish them. So I'm wondering, in each of your divisions, who has the best QB ranked 1 through 4?
Best backup.
Best backup QB 1 through 4. Okay. This is a good question.
So, you want just your division?
I'll go my division, then I'll obviously flip it around. So, number 1.
Gotta pull up the depth chart.
Yeah.
Hold up, I'll pull up.
So, you got Joe Flacco in.
Luca, do you use Our Lads? I was gonna say OurLads.com.
Our Lads.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to share the screen.
Yeah, so you got Joe Flacco with the Eagles. You got Mike Glennon with the Giants. The Cowboys, they don't have Dalton no more. So
he doesn't. Oh wait, never mind. I forgot he's a Bear.
Yeah, did Luca freeze? I think he froze.
I think he did. Yeah, he did.
Okay, now he's back.
Just had to do my.
If someone could please remind me of the QB from the backup QB.
Okay. Hold on. I'm loading.
Backup
Okay, so in your
is Taylor
division, the
Heineke
backup,
in Washington.
yeah,
So,
Heineke,
you got
Joe
3 or 4 right
Flacco,
now.
Mike Glennon, Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush is the backup in Dallas?
Yeah, according to our lads. Now, sometimes their depth charts can be a little but it's better
Who are
than
the
any other
quarterbacks
weapon.
there?
For Dallas, they got Garrett Gilbert and Ben DiNucci.
Okay. So here's how I'm going to rank my division. You guys go about your division, and then I think we're going to slowly allude into our record predictions. Number 1, I'm going to go with – see, Joe Flacco looked meh last year for the Jets, but that's the Jets. Okay, so
He's still
Eagles, Joe
experienced.
Flacco.
Heineke looked good, though, last year. Heineke looked good last year.
I'm going to say Flacco 1. Number 2, I'm going to go with Heineke. Number 3, I'm going to go with Glennon. Number 4, I'm going to go with Cooper Rush, Gary Gilbert, Ben DiNucci, whoever the hell is the backup QB.
Now, if you ask us in the preseason, that'll be a very good debate because, remember, we all love preseason. So that'll be a good question for when the preseason's finished. Luca, you want to do your division first?
Real quickly.
All right, so I looked up the depth charts for all my team, all my rivals in the division.
Yeah.
I don't need to share the screen because I can just read it off. I'm going to ask you the guys this. So this is actually kind of interesting. I'm putting the Jets last because they don't have a veteran backup right now, to be quite honest. For Miami, what's up?
No, I was saying you got James Morgan as the backup.
For Miami, you have Jacoby Brissett. I think he's
he
a
can
solid
be good.
backup.
He's good.
He's serviceable. For Buffalo,
Truly between him and Buffalo, because Mac Jones, you can't rank him yet.
Well, for
As of
Buffalo,
now,
you
he's
have
the starter.
Trubisky, Fromm, and Davis Webb. I'm taking Trubisky as the backup easily. And then you got for the Patriots, you have Cam Newton, Mac Jones, Jarrett Stidham, and Brian Hoyer. If you want to be honest, I guess Brian Hoyer's your backup. So I would go Miami, Buffalo, New England, Jets.
That's a topic we got to discuss towards the summer and in the preseason. Who's going to get eliminated off the Pats roster? They have 4 different QBs that are eligible to make the roster. I think it's going to be Stidham, honestly.
I still don't get why Brian Hoyer is there. Man's practically Josh McCown 2.0.
Sean,
so in our division, okay, I'll read the backups. Now, Pittsburgh's going to battle it out between Dobbs, Rudolph, and Haskins. According to this one, right now it's Rudolph, so I'm going to go with that. Rudolph, Case Keenum for Cleveland, Brandon Allen for Cincinnati, Trace McSorley for Baltimore. First, I'll go with Case Keenum because he's experienced. He's led them to the big spot. Well, not them specifically. He's led his team, the Vikings, to the big spotlight. So Keenum, that's no debate. Second, I'd probably take Mason Rudolph just because I've seen more of him. He's had some really big plays. He's had his bad games, but he has had his good games. So I'll take Mason Rudolph second. Trace McSorley third. He had a couple of nice plays in that game against us last year. And then I'll say Brandon Allen last, only because I haven't seen enough of him to really rank him. I don't know if he's played in an NFL pro game yet.
Yeah, he did against the Giants.
Was it a Giant? Okay. I haven't seen enough of him.
I honestly would flip that and say I haven't seen enough of Trace McSorley. Other than that game against Pittsburgh. So,
yeah.
if Lamar decides to take a crap in the middle of a game, I guess we'll see him this year.
Yeah.
But obviously...
Now, I'll ask you this. Now, Luca, there's a filter on... Before we do the predictions, on our lads, depth by positions, and it should take you to all the quarterbacks on their page. Who would you say is the best backup in the league?
All right, so hold on. Let me pull up our lads.
This says San Francisco.
Jesus. NFL depth charts, right?
Yeah, it should say, yeah. Yeah, click on that, and it should say depth by position. That's a tongue twister.
Yeah, here we go. Depth charts by position.
You want to share it?
Yeah, I was gonna say it might be easier for Alex to read it.
So, let me just close out this ad. Now
I need to refresh the camera.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, looking at him now, I think I'm gonna go with Nick Foles, only because he's won a Super Bowl. But
all right, so
question:
there's some good ones.
As Luca shares his screen, do you remember that one time, Sean, where it was after the Eagles Super Bowl, and a special someone said Nick Foles is the best quarterback in the NFL?
Yes.
All right,
we don't talk about that. Nick Foles, Jameis Winston. There's a couple of good ones. Tyrod Taylor.
Jameis Winston's not necessarily a backup anymore.
Well, we don't know who's going to start, so.
Yeah, they got him on here as a backup. Taysom Hill's the starter. Remember, they said that.
All right. Honestly, Case Keenum kind of underrated.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
The division, right? We're done with the AFC. So let's go to the AFC North. Already discussed. Here we go. Here's the AFC South. You got
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
Nobody really for Indianapolis. Gardner Minshew and Deshaun Kaiser and or Logan Woodside.
Deshaun Kaiser
for Tennessee.
In the league. Jesus Christ.
I missed him in Notre Dame.
I liked Logan Woodside when he was in the AAF.
Yeah, that's the AAF.
Right. A league that couldn't even finish.
Teddy Bridgewater, and he's gonna be a starter, so never mind.
You got Teddy Bridgewater, Chad Henne,
Marcus
Mariota, and Chase Daniel.
Mariota's actually kind of underrated, you know.
He is.
He can be good. So I'll say Mariota, but Bridgewater's definitely second. Chad Henne, I forgot he existed. He's terrible.
Yeah, he's nothing much. So we went over the NFC East. Now let's go to the NFC North. Nick Foles, Tim Boyle, and David Blow, Blake Bortles, and Jordan Love, or not really anybody because we don't know what Kellen Mond is, and
Nick
we don't
Foles.
know.
I think the better question is who comes after Nick Foles, because the other three are so unbelievably not experienced. Have any of them even played? Tim Boyle, Jordan Love,
David Blow has. David Blow has.
Well, he's the third string, though. I'm only looking at the second string.
Tim Boyle, I think, has, but no one's really familiar with him too much outside of Green Bay fans.
I'll probably go with Tim Boyle because he's actually been in the league like a couple years. AFC or NFC South: AJ McCarron, PJ Walker, Jameis Winston, Blaine Gabbert. That should be easy.
How is Gabbert still in the league? He's terrible.
I know.
He signed with the Bucks for like the 9th year in a row.
Yeah. Yeah.
PJ Walker is good.
He was good in the XFL. In the XFL, he was really good. I'm rooting for my boy Ian Book, though. I'm rooting for him. I'd love it if he could pull off like a miracle story. And
Jesus Christ, they have like 6 QBs. San Francisco.
Look at the 49ers. They have 6.
Yeah, I missed the first line before, and I'm like, wait, where are the quarterbacks?
So you got Colt McCoy, you have John Wolford and Devlin Hodges. You got Trey.
And your boy. Look at your boy.
We literally have the battle between Geno Smith and Colt McCoy. This is I never thought I'd see the day where I'd have to battle between 2 giant backups.
Geno Smith and Colt McCoy. I'll be honest,
Seahawks.
I always said when Geno Smith was a Jet, I kept saying that I was one of those guys that say this guy can be good if he had a better team around him. I can
agree with that assessment. I can agree with that.
I truly agree. Believe that. I know Alex would love to remember the one game that Geno Smith started for the Giants.
I could We were in Pennsylvania. They weren't even showing it.
No, well, we had it. They were actually showing it. I was at the bowling alley that night with my dad, and they were actually showing that game. I don't remember what the other game was, but they actually had that game on. Bro, there's nothing but Raider fans in that place, though. That bowling alley that my dad bowls at has a ton of Raider fans. So, and I know they were scared because they thought they were going to lose to Geno Smith because it was a close game.
All right, so who do you rank as the top or best backup QB? I don't know if I would go.
Hold on, we got to rank who's going to be in this division.
It's either Geno Smith or Colt McCoy. Or Josh Rosen or Nick.
Get the hell out of here, Josh Rosen. What the hell are you talking about?
Alex, there's your boy Josh Johnson.
Oh, no, Nate Sudfeld, the one who lost the game for the Eagles, PTSD. Oh, look at Josh Johnson. Yeah, the one who lost us the game against the Steelers in the fucking preseason. Oh, Nick Mullins, the one who. God, why is this
Mullins not on the team?
The 49ers team.
Not on the team.
No, hold on. 49ers quarterbacks right here are giving me a whole list of PTSD. Let's go down the list, shall we? Let's go down the list. Trey Lance, he has not violated the Giants yet. Jimmy Garoppolo, I can't. He's never faced the Giants because he's always injured. Nate Sudfeld, that one game against the one game with the Eagles in Washington last year. Josh Johnson decided to turn over the ball a couple of times and get sacked against the Steelers in the preseason of 2017.
Yeah, I remember annoying Alex about that one. I was in North Carolina watching that one.
Josh Rosen, 10 picks before me. And then you have Nick Mullins, who crushed us last year. God.
And the Raiders. I'll never forget his debut in the last ever Battle of the Bay when Nick Mullins led the 49ers to a 34-3 win over the Raiders. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that.
I'm
gonna go with Colt McCoy only because he's probably like the most experienced in the bunch. Oh, it's my boy Duck Hodges.
Slightly
the quack attack. The quack attack.
Slightly McCoy, and Luca just deserted us.
I'm back. All right, so who do you
want to agree with Colt McCoy?
How about we do a top 5 backup QBs?
Oh, we gotta get to the. Well, remember, we still got to get to predictions, so maybe that could be topic for next week. You know, we should do an episode like that. We'll break down like the backups. You know, we'll be like the pinstripe prospects of football, where we're not going to even focus on the big guys. We're going to focus on the little guys.
All
right. So, do you want to do?
All right. So,
do you want to do the chat? Hold on. Do you want to do the chat picking teams, or do you want to just the three of us decide?
Okay. So I'll give it to the chat. Chat. For the 6 watching, obviously, I'll let questions flow. I'll let topics flow. I'll let bullshit flow in the chat, as long as it's not inappropriate. But with that being said, I have 21 hashtags in the description. Those are the teams we didn't do last week. Whoever comments, you pick a team, and we will do that. First one to comment. One of those teams, that's the team we're doing first.
Here. And as you guys do that, I'll reiterate the rules. If you did not see last week's stream, we'll take a vote. We'll go to a team. We don't go by week. We go from team to team. We'll take a vote. Let's say
Texans wins.
Well, I use the same. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll use the same example I've been doing just to annoy Alex. Say the Giants and Jets are playing. Me and Luca think the Jets will win. Alex thinks the Giants win. We click on the Jets, and then we go from there. So. Houston Texans it is, boys. This one
going to be so hard to predict, honestly.
No, it's going to be so easy.
All right. Why don't we, since Deshaun Watson is still technically there, he's still on the roster, let's do this as if Deshaun Watson is going to be quarterback. Are we okay with that?
Then again, he didn't report for camp, but we'll see what happens.
But let's
keep it simple for now.
Sakes.
All right.
Yeah, for now.
We can always revise this.
Okay. So obviously I'll start it off being that this is none of our favorite teams if this would ever load. Texans. Obviously, these are the teams we already figured out in terms of matchups. They start out as 0-6 right now. So, with that being said, I'm going to say personally that the Texans win week 1 because even though it's good, Lawrence is going to have his struggles. Let's just say Watson is there. I think they slightly get the edge over the Jaguars.
Okay. I can get on board.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Okay. I can agree with that. I mean, Lawrence is going to be a lot first game, but I'll take that. Houston. Split.
Okay. So, saying split to make this more time compelling, we can say that the Jaguars win that matchup.
Well, you guys agree with that, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You guys agree with the split?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think this one should be easy. Obviously, the Texans. Oh my God! Look who it is.
Oh, how
Oh my God.
you doing? How you doing, Anthony?
Oh boy.
Week
Christ.
3. I'll take Houston, particularly only because it's a Thursday nighter and Carolina's coming
You're
on the road.
actually
So
taking the Texans.
yes, I think that's a good game for Deshaun Watson because Carolina's still in a rebuild too. So it's a tank bowl.
I'm taking
Home
the
field
Texans in
advantage.
this one.
Yeah, it's a Thursday nighter, home field advantage.
So, Luca, you support this?
Yes.
Unbelievable. You can. I think. What do you guys think of this?
You can
We're
make
gonna
that
hit
up.
every team tonight. Yeah, why not? We'll let you. Okay, T. We'll let you pick the next one, and then we'll get the chat back, guys. If you want to personally pick, reach out, and then we'll make an order. Alex, just make sure you know because you got a better mind than I do. I'll forget who goes in what order if we want to do it like that. So TD, you'll get to pick the next team, but remember we've
Put
already
down the
picked some
chocolates, nobody
teams.
cares.
Yeah, we already if we picked a team, if we already did a team, then you'll have a second option. But if you want to see our predictions from teams we already did, make sure following this stream you head back to last week's stream because last week we really broke down our 3 favorite teams plus a couple other teams and pretty much the NFC East last week.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how you people say that the Texans win this one, but I'm outvoted. This one should be easy. Should.
yeah,
Buffalo's
Bills.
winning.
That's no question.
Now, home run for the Mets. Anyone who's watching that game can check.
I'll check that out.
Okay, with that being said,
They've been shut down all night.
if the Patriots had
Drury.
same team
I
they
think
did
Brandon
last year,
Drury.
I would say the Texans, but I'm gonna go with the Patriots here, honestly.
I'm going with the Patriots. They're just a better overall team. But I could see this as a possible trap game. I will say that, but I'm gonna stick with New England because they, over the years, with the exception of that one, the 1 year they've had Houston's number.
Okay. Sharing playoff. Okay. Next game. I don't think they split with the Colts. I think they lose the Colts both times. What do you guys say?
Mhm.
So do I. Yeah, I agree. I mean,
think the
unless
Colts are a good enough team to beat them.
the only way I think they split is if Wentz continues to play as bad as he has in Philly. But that's
If the
also
defense
something.
picks them up, I think they'll be fine. My personal opinion.
Yeah.
See, at least someone agrees with me. At least someone agrees with me.
Again, we're basing this off of if Watson's playing, and because it's a Thursday nighter.
Pass, though. Look at the weapons they have in Carolina compared to Houston.
But he can make them better, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jagger says he has the Texans going 2-15, which will probably be something similar. But let's keep going.
I have them at 3-14.
This is the battle of Laramie Tunsil.
Miami. That's not even a debate there.
And next game, why do I feel like this is going to be closer than anyone anticipates it to be?
What, that Seattle game?
Yeah.
I could kind of see that, but I'm taking Seattle.
I'll take Seattle. I don't think so. Although the last time these two teams met, that was an amazing game. I wish we could get that again. Who knows? Anything's possible. Watson, Wilson, too. I'd be down for that if Houston was a little bit of a better team. But,
that
Bill
was one
O'Brien
game back in
happened.
2017.
All right, so
that was a wild game. I remember watching that.
Chargers, Texans. I think Justin Herbert's developed at this point, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, week 16, big-time matchup for him. Depending on where they're at by the end of the season, that's easy. Chargers. Go, Chargers, go.
Go, Chargers, go. And then in San Francisco, I think we know what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, San Francisco.
Obviously, the Texans. So we finished Jagger's record 2-15. Think Seattle blows him out if Watson isn't playing. Right now, we're assuming Watson is playing only because, and
we also can't factor out too. Tyrod Taylor, their backup, is a decent QB. If you give him some receivers, that can be a good team with Tyrod Taylor. Exactly, because
he's manageable.
Yeah, he's very. One thing I think Bills fans fail to do is he's so underappreciated. Buffalo, he deserves more props out of Buffalo, honestly. So, TD, who do you want then?
If Watson doesn't play, do you give the Texans any wins? I'm going to say week 1. That's the only win I'll give them.
It's hard to say.
Twist in the plot. Hold on. Twist in the plot. No, I don't give him any wins. In this case, no.
Yeah.
If it's Tyrod Taylor, it's different.
If Davis Mills plays, that's when all the apples fall off the tree and hit Alex in the head.
Yeah.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Okay, whatever that was.
All right, TD, what team do you want us to do next?
I know he said Bucks or Bears, but which is both we could do, but obviously, which one do you prefer? While he makes that decision, real quickly, I just gotta switch something out.
I'm watching the Mets game right now, Sean. It's 3-2.
Yeah, I got it on.
Gomber just got taken
I got it on. Imagine if the Rockies blow this game.
Well, they're terrible, so.
Imagine. Yeah. Okay, Bears it is.
Switch out my thing. Bears will go 0-6, so we get a great pick. Yeah, I wish that, Potato. I really wish. All
right, so let me ask you guys this. Andy Dalton right now is the technical starter. Are we basing this as if Dalton is the starter? Because I think Fields comes in later in the season, but I don't think he starts. And technically, according to the depth chart we just pulled up, Dalton's the starter. So are we going to stick with that?
Yeah, stick with Andy Dalton.
I think Andy Dalton for the first few weeks, but Fields will morph in.
In my personal opinion, here's how I'll take this. I think depending on how we go after the bye week, let's say if the Bears are on a terrible losing streak, I think what's going to happen is they're going to insert Fields. My personal opinion.
That's fair.
I could see that. No, I think it's going to happen. I really do.
I think that's a good judgment call. So with that being said, obviously the first game.
Of course you think it is. You said it.
It's freaking prime time, which it does not deserve to be.
It doesn't. Of all the games we could have gone, Steelers, Bills, friggin' Seahawks, Colts, they chose this.
Or Jets, Panthers.
I guess it's better. I guess if you think about it, it's better than Bucks, Cowboys. I'm sorry. We're not buying the Cowboys hype. I don't get where the hype's coming from. Dak's coming back. Sure. Is he going to be what he was? Probably not. I mean, I wouldn't bet against it. I like Dak, but there's your problem right there. Luca just said it. Where's your defense? I don't see it. How the hell are they going to stop Tom Brady? With what defense? Cowboys fans, please come after us.
I'm not going to make this judgment call, but I don't see it not happening.
I don't see that happening.
I keep forgetting Foles there. I keep forgetting Foles there.
I'm sorry, but I think they trade Foles sometime in the offseason, like somewhere in July or something. I don't see how you just go.
They should have already.
Yeah, but anyway, I don't see how you just get two quarterbacks before Fields. Fields was selected at 11, not 4th round.
Yeah.
He's that high of a pick, and I think he's that good of a quarterback where he can start either week 1 or like week 8.
Okay. So this is going to be
here's the door.
I think it's going to be anticipated. Why does it say 2:00 Eastern Standard Time? That doesn't make any sense.
It's all out of whack. Like it says for week 17, every game's on a Saturday.
That's because Chicago's in a different standard time. They're 1 hour off. But
no. It says Eastern Time. And it says Eastern Time.
I know, but
2 p.m.
They got the times wrong. Whatever. This
Chicago.
This I could see. With that being said, this is going to be interesting because obviously Andy Dalton faces his fucking replacement because the Bengals couldn't build a good team. I think it's going to be close. I'm going to take Chicago.
I'll take Chicago. I don't
like the Bengals.
The Bengals, remember, they're going against Khalil Mack. This might be the site of freaking Joe Burrow's season coming to an end. It's sad we even have to predict that, but they did not help him in any way. So, Chicago.
Week 5, Bears-Raiders. I'm going to take the Raiders.
Yeah,
I'm going to take the Raiders.
Going west.
It's a shame that this game wasn't in Oakland, because that would have been Mac's return to Oakland. But it will be his return to Raider Nation regardless. It's, Alex, as we mentioned the last game, it's our last stream. It's a bowl.
Yeah.
Week 5, we got the bowl. Hashtag bowl. No, Raiders. It's West Coast game. And
that's right. He did play the Bengals last year. Right.
That's right.
I forgot about that, honestly.
That is true. That is true.
They got crushed though in that game. It was like 30 something or whatever.
It was bad, and Lindor flew out. So Lindor is not making Mets fans very happy.
Well, TD's a Mets fan, so we'll ask the opinion there. But do you think the Packers split with the Bears, or do you think the Packers take both?
I'm calling it now. I can see it hasn't happened. Chicago's been the underdog in this rivalry. And I've gotten this prediction wrong every year. I've been saying split. I'm sticking with my gut. I think Chicago pulls off an upset. I think it's a game where Green Bay walks in all high and mighty. Yeah, we can beat the Packers. Look at that. We got half the stadium's our fan base. We can win
this. The Packers, really.
Yes, Green Bay's going to beat the Packers. They're gonna beat themselves. See, my point. I think they beat themselves that game. No, I'm dead serious. I think it's gonna be a game. I still think Rodgers is gonna be there. I'm not buying into the clickbait. Yes. I think he could probably sit out. It might be a Le'Veon Bell type of situation where he sits out until like the start of the regular season. But I got Chicago splitting.
Luca?
I got Chicago splitting as well. I don't think they're that terrible of a team where they're going to get swept. They're not the Lions.
I think we know this one, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully Brady knows what down it is.
Yeah, right. This is a good one, actually. This is a good one. It's a battle of the defenses.
I think there's somewhat kind of even. The 49ers have a better offense, but the Bears have a better defense.
It's a Halloween game where you got to question which defense is scarier. And now the Niners will have Nick Bosa back. I'm going to say Chicago.
Will they be the same?
Chicago as well.
Will they be the same without Salah? I'm taking Chicago. I got to take Chicago here.
Okay, this game, obviously,
I think that comes down to home field advantage.
No, the Bears are going to win.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously down this stretch, so they go into a lose here, which is honestly debatable because it's Thanksgiving. The Bears always win on Thanksgiving.
I could see an away split, honestly.
Yeah, that makes
that seems a little bit more realistic if you think about it. My question
in the last few years.
Why the hell is it always Bears Lions on Thanksgiving?
Because apparently
I don't like that method. Tradition. I get it's a rivalry game, and I get that half that stadium is usually Chicago fans, but I would like something different once in a while, NFL. But I'm actually going to take the away split, but a split nonetheless.
All right. So it's that way. Vikings Bears. Do they split? If they split with the Packers, they would have to split with the Vikings, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, without a doubt.
So 6-10, that's better than I predicted. And then now, obviously, they win against the Giants, my mighty Giants.
Miss Seattle. Yeah.
Yep.
Give me Seattle on this one. So the Bears.
And James McCann strikes out, and the Mets lose.
So the Bears finish 6-11.
I got the same record.
So next up.
All right. Next team. Now it's back to first come, first serve. Who we got? Oh, and I just accidentally closed the damn video.
You're an idiot.
Here's my question. I know we're doing all together our predictions, but is there going to be a time where we get to showcase our own individual predictions? Like Sean gets to showcase his. You get to
Well, I
showcase
can't share my screen. That's the only problem.
Yeah, that's true.
There might be ways around that though.
There might be.
I personally know a way around that.
If you guys, let us know. If you want to see all our predictions, we could probably put it on social media. I can send screenshots to Alex. I'm sure Luca can too, to showcase all our predictions. So, guys, if you want that, let us know in the chat. We can upload it to either our own social medias or we could put it on, the Big Blue in the Bronx. So, Vikings it is.
Minnesota.
After this one, I gotta do something real quick.
All right. Week 1, this kind of
Minnesota,
right?
I got the Vikings winning week 1. Minnesota's a tough team. Like, they look like a team that can be good, but there's a lot of weaknesses on their team. How's that defense going to look? How's Kirk Cousins going to play? But
Kirk Cousins. Obviously, this is probably a unanimous agreement. This one I kind of find a little interesting. I think they're kind of even, the Seahawks and the Vikings.
Seattle has had their number, though.
That's true.
That's what's kind of giving Seattle the edge, honestly. Seattle's really, had Minnesota's number. Was usually in Seattle, but I'm gonna still take the Seahawks. I think I don't think Kirk Cousins keeps up with Russell Wilson.
Week 6. This one is interesting. I feel like they're at that point in time they might be even.
I'm still gonna play it safe and say the Vikings in a very close game. I think they got a lot of really good. I think the Vikings. That could be a game where I think Justin Jefferson will ball out. Didn't Carolina actually beat them last year? I know. Am I thinking of the year before? They had a good matchup down in Minnesota or in Carolina on CBS. I don't remember, but I'm going to take the Vikings. Am I? I knew there was a game down there that was really close. I didn't know how recent it was. I think you're right, actually. I think you are right. I'm taking the Vikings.
I'm actually going to surprise you, and I'm going to take the Panthers.
Leave me in a weird position.
I think this game has upset potential.
I'm going to go in here and say, obviously, the Vikings want to go back to 500. But I'm going to go ahead and slightly say the Panthers.
All right, that's fair enough. My thing, too, is they will be coming off of what I think will be a big win against Detroit. That's the type of game where I think they'll have a very satisfying, all-around, complete victory. And I feel like that momentum carries over into Carolina before the bye week.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it, but I don't completely disagree with Carolina winning.
So
Ratbirds, Vikings. Minnesota, if you could win this game, I will love you forever. One thing to note, too, if you guys get a chance, the last time these two teams played in Baltimore, Vikings-Ravens, that game was a classic. Remember when they each kept trading touchdowns in the final 2 minutes?
Game, yeah.
Yeah, that was the day the Eagles snow game against the Lions. That game was a classic. If you guys get a chance, Google it or YouTube. 2013 Vikings-Ravens ending. It's amazing. It's one of the craziest games you'll ever watch. There was a lot of crazy games that day because we had that nor'easter.
Yeah. Obviously the Ravens with the win.
I'm taking the Ravens.
This one's interesting. Yeah. I'm going to say the Chargers because of West Coast. They're playing 2 away games.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, they're going one extreme to the other, East Coast and West Coast. So I'll take the Chargers. Although that might be a Vikings home game because remember they went to LA 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, and that was practically a home game.
Yeah, Skull. Week 11. So I think they split.
I say split.
I agree. I don't think the Vikings are that bad.
And then one more team, Vikings 49ers.
I'm going to take San Francisco.
Yeah, that's bringing me flashbacks to the what do you call it? The divisional round.
Oh,
yeah. I'm going to say the defense is going to be all over Kirk Cousins. So I'm going to step away for a sec, and I will be right back. All right?
Okay.
All right, so when Sean comes back, I'll re-add him. Meanwhile, we get to answer a good question. Which team do you guys think has the best chance at 17-0? 0-17. Texans easily, my personal opinion. 17-0. I'm going to say either Tampa Bay or Green Bay. I don't think
Tampa Bay is definitely
the
one.
Chiefs, in my opinion, not going to repeat in terms of they'll be good. I just think they're going to drop off. By the way, for whoever's in the chat, whoever's remaining, next team is up for picks. Meaning, first come, first serve in terms of which team do you want next. So when Sean comes back, we'll continue on that stuff. We marked off 2-3 teams already? Got to be like that. So we marked off the Vikings, the Bears,
Texans,
and the Texans. So okay, so we're moving light.
Here's an interesting note.
Okay, so here's how we'll go. We'll actually go Tampa Bay and then the Saints. So we got our next two teams covered.
So the Dolphins are actually hosting former Chargers pass rusher Melvin Ingram.
Interesting.
So
how much their QB will affect their season. That's going to be – honestly, they are so unpredictable, Potato. So unpredictable. They have one of the most question mark teams in the NFL, my personal opinion. Yeah. Oh, Sean's back, so let's add him again. What is it with everybody with chips tonight?
What's wrong with chips?
Well, I've chugged like 3 of these things, so I had to run to the bathroom.
All right, so our
real quick.
next two teams are the Tampa Bay Bucks and the New Orleans Saints. I know he's probably watched, but where do you think Larry Fitz ends up? Is he retired? Or is he a free agent?
I thought he retired.
I could have swore he retired. Hold on, let me look it up.
I swear I thought he retired. I loved Larry Fitz. I won't even lie. I love that guy. He was an amazing player.
It's sad it's a shame. Get a championship.
Yeah, but as much as I was happy about our Super Bowl victory, I would have liked to have seen him win at least one. So it's a shame. I honestly, I wouldn't even lie, and I would have liked for him to come to Pittsburgh, but
I think he's still a free agent.
I could have sworn he retired.
What do you see? Because I from what I see, he's still a free agent.
Look it up.
Look at the.
Let me ask you guys this. It's a Steeler-related question. I asked you guys about it earlier. I asked Luca about it earlier.
No,
one second. Did the Mets have a home game today?
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost.
Gregory Gullo just got kicked out.
Well, the game was over.
Yeah, the game just ended.
If that's the game he's talking about.
Yeah. Quick question for you guys, and I'll keep it brief because we still got a lot to get to. Richard Sherman went to Stephen A. Smith this week. Stephen A. asked, "How would you feel about going to Pittsburgh?" He replied with, "I like Pittsburgh. I'm not afraid of the AFC North. But they haven't called yet to offer a contract." Do you think that'd be a good fit for Pittsburgh to get Richard Sherman on a one-year deal?
Correct?
Yeah, but remember, we lost Steven Nelson.
The Jets should. Jets should honestly pick him up.
I would be okay with a one-year deal. I would be okay with that. He's a lockdown corner. He could teach the young guys like Justin Lane and Cam Sutton a thing or two. Even though they've,
Real quickly before we go into our predictions, this is a good question.
17-0. I'm going to say Kansas City out of the AFC. And out of the NFC, much as I hate to admit it, Tampa Bay is really the favorite for that. I don't think either happens for 17-0, but if I legitimately had to make a guess, obviously the Steelers, but no, I'm kidding. Kansas City.
You would have said
Now,
that about 4 years ago in 8th grade.
Probably. I won't even deny that. For 0-17?
This should be easy, Sean. Come on.
Out of the AFC, probably, if Watson does not play this season, Houston. And if Joe Burrow gets hurt, then you can probably put Cincinnati on that list.
I was going to smack y'all if you said the Jets, because we're not going 0-17. We're not that fucking bad.
Last year, we could have been
Oh, yeah.
discussion. In the NFC, for 0-17, the Giants. I'm only kidding.
Eagles. Not even lying.
They're probably the favorite, but I don't think they'll be 0-17. I got them at 5-12. I'm going to say I was just going to say Detroit because they're not. What do they have? What do the Lions really have?
They don't have a lot.
Jared
Speaking of which, there is a story out there, and this is an inside joke. There's this one time that Luca let Adam Gase into the house and made him a cup of coffee. So,
Yeah.
I deny that.
All right, Tampa Bay Bucks. What do we got here?
Okay, so let's go to Tampa Bay. Obviously, we figured out some teams already. This one should be easy. The Bucks. I don't think they split with Atlanta.
I think the Bucks are really. Yeah, I say they sweep them.
I say the Bucks sweep, but I feel like that game in Atlanta could be a trap game.
Yeah.
Only because they are coming off of a game against the Colts.
I like this. Jared Goofball.
Yeah, I like
really
that.
Overrated.
The poor man really got sent from Los Angeles. Beautiful weather, big city, big spotlight to the 313. The cold abandoned.
Talk about ruining somebody's career, a la OBJ.
Yeah.
As much as I love to talk about that. Bucks Patriots.
This one's intriguing, especially considering 2-game road trip coming from Los Angeles.
I'm going to say
Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay is just all around a better team. Cam Newton, he's not what he was, and he doesn't have that escape ability, and I think that D-line's going to get to him.
Is it me or do you see that as a potential upset game?
Yeah,
it is.
I just don't think,
I don't think it happens.
I agree with you guys.
By the way, tickets for that game is averaging about 1,300.
We can afford that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm moving to New York, but screw that money. Let's go to Bucks Patriots. Two of my most hated things in football.
Brady and Belichick.
Yeah.
Dolphins Bucks. I think this is closer than anticipated, but I think the Bucks come out on top.
I agree. I could see the Dolphins.
Yeah, I agree. They can give him a hard time because he's always struggled in Florida against the Dolphins, and considering it's the Battle of Florida, defense could get to him, but I don't think it happens.
Okay, so next.
Saints
Bucks. This is a good one.
The Saints are arguably the most questionable team in the NFL right now without Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I'm 110% honest here. I see a split. I think Tampa Bay should sweep them. Something's telling me they're going to beat themselves in New Orleans or even at home.
See, here's my thing, and I didn't mark off the second game yet for a reason. Obviously, I will once I'm done with my point. I don't know how far developed. I don't know who their quarterback is going to be because they say Taysom Hill, but Maybe they switch gears by then. Maybe
mean,
they
here's the
develop into the season.
Here's the thing. I'm flashing back to the 38-0 game, I think it was, back last year. Drew Brees, I don't think even played that great, and they still won.
Because of the defense.
So I could see a split.
They put Tom on his ass without his walker.
Yeah.
So away split.
I'm gonna say home split.
Okay.
That's fair.
So Bucks Colts.
This is a good one.
That has some intrigue to it.
I'm actually gonna say the Colts. I think this is a game that comes down to home field advantage.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna say I'm assuming Wentz is gonna be back to his old self, and I really hope he is because I liked Wentz as a quarterback. You know, I didn't like the team he played for, but that's for different reasons.
I think that
I like
defense
Wentz
is going to
as a
get to
quarterback.
Brady.
Yeah, I can see Indianapolis winning this one in a close game. Very close game. This is a sleeper game for the year, really. This can be a good game. This is a game flying under the radar. I'm gonna say Colts.
You say Colts?
Mm-hmm.
Luca?
I say Colts.
All right. Week 14. Why
That's
do I
a good
feel
one.
like,
Intrigue to it.
let me see something real quick.
This could be a Super Bowl preview.
Let's see. Who they playing week 13? Let's see. Actually,
Atlanta.
the
Oh,
Patriots. And that's a good team. You're going to get a kick in the ass possibly 2 weeks in a row. Not kick in the ass, but a good competition.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the Bucks.
I will too. But I would not be surprised if Bills Mafia turned that into a home game because even though they're not New York City, it's New York 2.0. So I would definitely anticipate seeing a lot of Bills fans there. They're going to come in full force. That's probably one of the top. That might be the game of the year, honestly, or at least one of them. I'll take Tampa Bay, but not by much. That's going to be a defensive battle.
Tampa Bay.
That's a defensive battle.
Bucks Panthers. Do you think they split, or do you think
No.
I don't think so, unless Week 18 Brady sits for whatever reason. But obviously, we're not going by that. So
Well, if you're saying the Bucks win, they're 13-3 at this point down the stretch, and
but they could be fighting for home field. They could be fighting for home field, though.
yeah, but hold on. Let's break this down for a minute. Rams are 12-5. Packers, yes, we have yet to get to, but is it really likely that they're better than the Bucks? I'm going to say the Panthers with the away split.
Yeah, I'm still going to say the Tampa Bay sweep. Now, again, if they sit and they start Blaine Gabbert, then that's an easy Panthers victory.
Or this.
But I could see it.
That would be
I
fun.
could see it. But
So
no,
right
I'm
now
taking
we're
Tampa Bay.
14-3.
Same thing for me.
The next team is the New Orleans Saints. This is another question mark team.
That
This is a good
arguably
one.
that team has the biggest question mark around them.
Fun fact,
There's a
everybody.
good one.
Fun fact. These two morons said last year with this matchup in week 3, they were because we do this thing with picks: 1 point pick, 2 point pick, 3 point pick. Okay, and we do this thing amongst ourselves. And
If you want to understand it better, they do it Michael K.
Yeah.
They do it on the Michael K show. It's their game, basically.
We did this, and my 3 point pick that week actually may have been my 1 point, but it was was the Packers over the Saints. The Packers, I think, came in with a win. Maybe. I don't know. The Saints the week before lost to the Raiders on Monday Night Football. And then these idiots, what are you picking that game for? You know, the Saints are going to win. I'm like, really? And then what happened? What happened? The Packers won.
I still won the title, so I could care less at this point.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said,
Week
I'm gonna
1,
say Packers.
I'm going to say Packers.
Same.
Taysom Hill is going to be his true season debut. No. I personally Jameis Winston should be the starter, but I don't know what the hell they're thinking with Taysom Hill. Might as well make him a tight end at this point.
Might as well make him another wide receiver.
How about they signed another veteran QB? How about they signed Matt Barkley?
Hold on. Let me see who they got. At QB, they got Taysom Hill as a starter per Hour Lads. Jameis Winston is a backup, who's been in the league 6 years, so he's kind of stays a veteran. Ian Book is the technical third string. And Trevor Siemian is their fourth string.
They're fine.
So, okay. Yeah, they're
fine. He thinks Winston starts week 1. He says he doesn't.
I could see that. He
says he doesn't trust. If Aaron Rodgers is not playing, the Saints are just winning that
Aaron
game.
Rodgers. I'm telling you guys.
Or Taysom Hill versus Blake Bortles, who has not played in the game in like 2 years. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the Panthers and the Saints have the home split.
I can get behind that.
Okay.
I can get behind that.
So, this game, I think the Patriots are going to win.
I could agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cam Newton going to ball out.
Saints, Seahawks. I think it's purposely made interesting, but I think the Seahawks crowd is going to be elusive.
Monday nighter, Seattle.
Yep. Yeah. And the Saints, I guess, going off last year, don't do good on the West Coast on Monday nights. With that being said, Week 9, Falcons, Saints. I don't see them splitting, honestly.
No.
So
I got New Orleans with the sweep.
I take care of those games. Bills, Saints, I take the Bills.
I got to differ with you guys. I think they're both vulnerable, and I can see a split between them.
I wouldn't bet against it. I just don't. Without Julio, I don't see it. If they indeed trade Julio,
if they do trade Julio, I see what you're saying.
They start 1-5 according to our predictions. Hey, listen, the rest of the season they start off a little hot, but Week 12 I will take the Bills.
Yeah, me too. Bills are just too good of a team. They'll pick apart whoever's quarterback.
Week 16. I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
This is a sleeper game, honestly. This is another one that could be really good. Monday nighter, I'm taking New Orleans. I really think it's going to be an atmosphere where it's very hard to outplay the Saints in New Orleans. And I don't think Miami has what it takes here.
I'm going to take
Buffalo,
Saints in an upset.
Different story. But I'm taking New Orleans. I don't think Miami's going to have what it takes to walk in there and
so a 3-game winning streak at the end. Wow.
Final record?
8-9. Next team for whoever wants to choose it. As I said, there's a couple of teams. We did like 5 teams already. We're rolling through this. There's teams in the description, guys, under the hashtags. So,
also NBA update: the Milwaukee Bucks are beating the Miami Heat 125-98 with 2:25 to go.
Jesus Christ. Okay. He says, damn, I still had them a double-digit win team. If the Giants beat them, I can see the Panthers also upsetting. I can see the Panthers. Yeah, I can see that, actually. Atlanta is next. This is
an interesting team, too.
Wow.
Now, for now, even though what we heard, Julio's still – we're making this as if Julio's still going to be on the team. We're going off of current rosters, basically.
First 5 weeks, already figured out. Week 7, after the bye week, I still think they lose to
Miami.
Dolphins.
Miami? Yeah, so do I.
I think the Panthers split with them.
So do I. That's the Panthers are on the, they're in a rebuild, but they got a lot of potential. The Falcons, they gotta blow it up. They gotta blow it up. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
I mean, this is obviously the Falcons winning, right?
Where?
Oh,
New
God,
England?
it brings back bad memories.
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
PTSD.
Too much of it. Friggin' this game pisses me off 28-3. I
Evan
still say
wants the Falcons. Excuse me, Broncos after the Falcons. I could get behind that.
okay. All right, we'll do Denver next. I'm gonna still take New England.
Yeah, just
in a
because.
trap team. I think Cam Newton knows that team all too well, and I think he'll walk in there and walk out holding the W.
See, this would be a good rebuild game if the Falcons decided to draft a quarterback.
I agree with that.
But
Yeah.
I want to say Falcons here, honestly. My opinion.
I don't completely disagree because it is a Thursday nighter. The fact that this is even a primetime game is sad, but let's not forget.
Thursday nighter?
Yeah, it is.
Falcons Jaguars is a Thursday nighter.
Oh no, I'm talking about the Patriots game.
Oh, why would the Patriots rebuild?
Whatever. Next game.
I got Falcons.
I'm going to take
I got Falcons with Atlanta's defense. I wouldn't be surprised if Jacksonville upset.
True. After this one, what was I going to say? TD does have a question about dark horses, so in the NFC and the AFC, so I'll go back to that one. Falcons, 49ers. I mean, obviously the Falcons, you know.
Yeah, totally. It was 2019. Friggin' San Francisco Super Bowl year. That NFC champion title year. Friggin' Atlanta walked in there and beat them. Imagine if they did that. I'm saying San Francisco.
And then to finish it up, Buffalo.
That's not even a question.
5 and 12. So I've got to scroll up a little bit.
Denver.
Dark horse. Here we are. Who is the dark horse NFC Super Bowl winner and AFC Super Bowl winner? Who is underrated, could shock the world? This is an interesting question.
Dark horse.
If honestly, I'm going to go AFC first. I think if Carson, it depends on two QB situations. My personal opinion: underrated Colts, underrated Dolphins.
Pittsburgh's hella underrated. Don't at me. I'm not even putting in bias, but everybody thinks we're gonna be terrible next year. So
I don't think they're gonna be at 500. My personal opinion. I don't think they're underrated. My personal opinion. AFC West. Let's talk. I think the Chargers, if they're a good team, they could be underrated. So
Alex, you can't forget about Cleveland because they almost beat Kansas City.
Talk to the hand.
I think the Chargers need a year.
Yeah, so do I. Cleveland needs to be beaten back down into reality so badly.
They let Chad Henne run for 10 yards. God damn. In terms of dark horses in the NFC, because of their seed position, no bias intended. Because if I'm going off predictions as of right now, because of their seed position, possibly the Giants. Who else?
Super Bowl?
Not for the Super Bowl. Like underrated terms.
Because that's what he has. Super Bowl.
No, I know, but he also said it was underrated.
Oh, okay. That's true.
I honestly don't think the Seahawks are a deep team. Maybe if the Saints get a few lucky wins, but
yeah,
I don't know.
My AFC dark horse, I think people are kind of sleeping on Miami a little bit. You know, I think they're a team to definitely keep an eye on. I just said it before. People are really thinking Pittsburgh's going to be nothing. Trust me, they will be something. I don't know if it's Super Bowl, but I hope it is. I don't think it will. I'm not getting my hopes up, but Pittsburgh's definitely a sleeper team that I think people are underrating. Cleveland, what do we think with the Browns? We made our predictions with Cleveland. Do you think that they could be a threat?
Honestly, I think we should wait till we actually do playoffs.
Okay, that's fair enough. We'll get into
I agree with that.
Okay, so
my NFC sleeper team, I'm going to surprise some people. I might not, but I think San Francisco's kind of slept on. And the only reason I say that is they're going to be fully healthy again. And we saw what they could do with fully healthy. So, honestly, my NFC sleeper team is San Francisco. I don't think we should be sleeping on them.
Tudo, what's going on, my man? What was I going to say? This is a good question before we go to another.
I haven't answered the question.
Yeah.
You have not answered it. Who's your AFC, NFC, Super Bowl, or dark horse?
Like dark horse playoff contender?
Sure.
Underrated team and underrated Super Bowl contender.
Underrated team. I could say the same. If they figure out their quarterback situation, I could see the Saints being underrated.
Yeah. I agree with that.
AFC for being underrated.
Cleveland.
Piss Alex off here. I'm gonna piss him off. I'm gonna say the Titans.
I got him at 9-8, but I wouldn't bet against it.
The goddamn Titans talk. They're being funded, guys. Just
here we fucking go again.
Hey, all right. So, question before we move on: is Matt Ryan a serious contender on another team? Could you see him leaving to get a championship in the following season?
Yeah,
Honestly, if they should have rebuilt, and I think that it's going. If they trade Julio, it's going to be coming time for Matt Ryan just to go bye-bye. He's not going to retire. I think he's still good. There might be a team out there that want him. I don't know who that team is. We'll see what happens after this year or maybe midway into the year. But I honestly think he's going to be going somewhere else.
Yeah.
After that Super Bowl, that team has done disaster to him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Aaron Rodgers being a little fucking baby.
Green Bay.
Listen, I understand that he only won one championship, and Fat Bullfrog McCarthy was kind of a reason in that. But like Matt Ryan, ever since the Super Bowl, his team has been fraudulent in terms of talent.
Well, and they should have, if you think about it, they should have beat the Eagles the following year. But, Julio's hands were just for decoration, went right through him, gave Philadelphia the win, and a freaking Super Bowl.
It was literally this.
No, it just flat out. He looked like our buddy Craig when he tries to catch it. Oh, no.
It's like you're catching a fly.
Yeah.
I'll answer that question is obviously answered. Next team.
Denver was our next team.
On the next team. Denver, right.
Yeah, Denver.
If their coach figures it out and they figure out the quarterback situation, they're a good team.
So we already got them to 4-4. Week 2 in Jacksonville. 2 weeks in a row they're away.
Honestly, I'm calling a Jacksonville upset. And I'll tell you why. Okay? Hear me out. Drew Lock ain't it. That is a game that I see Drew Lock.
Bridgewater might be the starter, though, if he is.
He might be, but as of now, Lock is the starter.
I don't
know about that. Vic Fangio said they're competing in camp.
No, here's what I think.
According to the depth chart we read, Lock is the starter. Lock, I think, self-implodes.
Here's what Donovan Handler says. I haven't actually seen him in my comments, so he's probably a new viewer of some sort. That I honestly don't. I think we had the 49ers winning. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, because it's in Chicago. No, I think this is a game where Drew Lock implodes. They bench him, they put in Bridgewater, but I don't think his comeback would be enough, and I think Trevor Lawrence actually earns his first victory.
Luca.
Unpopular opinion, but
I think
I don't cater to the popular opinion. You guys should know that.
I think that they'll battle out in camp. Drew Lock wins. He'll suck for the first few weeks, and then they'll hand it over to Bridgewater, but I don't think Week 2 does not signal the handover to Bridgewater. I'm taking Jacksonville.
Okay, so you overrule me on that one. Well, I don't know where the hell y'all getting Bridgewater loses the QB battle. I don't know where y'all getting that from.
Drew Lock could play well in camp, and then he could just choke.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I do not believe that. Anyway.
I don't think they're building on Bridgewater to be a long-term quarterback, though.
Right.
I think they still want to see what they got in Lock.
34.5 receiving touchdowns. Let's first start off of Tim Tebow 34.5 over under receiving yards.
He shouldn't even be on the roster. Sorry, not sorry. He don't belong on the roster.
With that being said, I think we all agree that the Ravens will win this matchup.
Yep.
I think they're going to home split Raiders and Broncos.
I agree.
So
I can see it.
I honestly think they might split with the Chargers as well.
Yep.
Why? Chargers are still trying to find that balance, so I could definitely see the Chargers losing one.
So Broncos win that one. The Chargers win that one. They don't split with the Chiefs.
No. I could see an upset maybe, but I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Unless in Week 18, of course, Pat Mahomes doesn't play. That's the only scenario where there's a split.
And also Bengals Broncos. If Joe Burrow's still alive at that point.
Oh my god.
They're gonna have to face Denver's defense. Oh, poor Joe Burrow. Denver.
I'm gonna go with Denver. 7-10 is their final record.
I have them at 5-12 actually.
I do want to reference another comment after this, but Donovan says, I think they sit Lawrence. I think that's what it says. Week 1 and Week 2, see the game and how the offense and defense work. They'll let him start Week 3. Isn't Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
Or is he,
well, okay. Here's their quarterback.
In my personal opinion, you draft somebody number 1 overall, you're expecting them to go in right.
I think he's going to, according to this depth chart, he is number 1. But behind him, Minshew's the backup. CJ Beathard is their 3rd string, and Jake Luton is 4th string. So if there's anybody that would start over him, it's definitely Minshew. But I don't think
Minshew Mania.
Hey, Minshew Mania, man. That you never know. Minshew does good in the preseason, so there is that. He's a preseason QB. That's what I call him. Yeah.
Call me crazy, but if Rodgers goes, could you see Ryan and Green Bay being deadly? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Team form.
If Rodgers goes somewhere else because he's a big fat baby, Ryan will actually get the team he deserves, and they need a run stopper. So
imagine this. The Falcons trade Matt Ryan and Julio Jones to Green Bay to pair Devontae Adams with Julio Jones.
No.
And then they go to the Super Bowl.
No.
I sense toxicity in that locker room.
No.
I want the ball.
No, they'll be the next Rams, trading away every first-round draft pick they have.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Green Bay's not necessarily, they're not too. I mean, yeah, they can be successful, but they're not too far from freaking being the Eagles. The way they spend their salary cap.
Yeah, chat. Who's next?
What was I going to say? Before we get to the next team. Where do we think Minshew Mania is getting traded to? I can't imagine I don't understand what the thing about trading him is. I don't think he's going to get traded. If it is, it's for like a 7.
You're not getting much value out of him. He's a backup. I don't think he's starter worthy. Maybe if you give him pieces on offense, but I don't think he's starter worthy.
I think he's traded to the Eagles.
Can you imagine? Oh man, Minshew Mania would be
funny as hell.
Minshew Mania be going in there partying and they'll get pelted by snowballs. That's silly for you. That's legitimately silly. He'll go. The Minshew Mania gonna come in full force. Yeah, Minshew Mania. Snowball batteries.
They'll be throwing horse shit at him. He dresses like Cam Newton, so. As we said,
but at least he doesn't.
Weber in the chat, and it's in the description. If anyone's new here, it's in the description of the teams that we have not done yet. Hashtags to be exact. Does Green Bay have that kind of cap space though? That would be wild trade. No, they do not have that cap space. Luca's dreaming.
No, it would be an interesting trade though, don't you think?
Here, I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring because we haven't heard anything from the chat. I kind of want to do Green Bay.
All right. Green Bay?
Since we're already talking about them.
Let's talk about a green boy. All right, so we only have like a good 5 games to do. We pretty much cut the work out ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Packers. This is what TD says. Packers 49ers. I don't think the Packers. I think honestly, I think the Packers beat them. I don't know that the 49ers are the same team at that point. My personal opinion.
Well, San Francisco, when they were at full strength, did have Green Bay's number.
Yeah.
I think I'm actually going to agree with Alex. The problem with San Francisco, I'm not even talking about healthiness. Jimmy G, one year he looks like he's one of the best QBs, and then the next he looks, crappy. I don't know what to really make of their QB situation. That's the problem. If you don't have a QB, how are you going to win? So I'm going to say Green Bay, which I'll say this. QB is the second most important position behind kicker. Just putting that out there.
What was I going to say? So yeah, that game. Obviously, the Bengals win this one. Obviously,
of course.
Though they lose to a similar team the next week by our prediction, so the Packers take this one. I think we can unanimously agree. Yeah, Packers Chiefs.
That's a good one.
I so badly want to say the Packers, in my opinion, but I don't know if Aaron. But we're playing as if Aaron Rodgers is there. I think the Packers slightly have a better defense. I think it's just coaching in Kansas City.
It's in Kansas City. I think this one comes down to home field advantage. I think regardless, I don't even know. Obviously, Kansas City's got the 12th man, but Green Bay fans are going to come in full force. And I think...
Oh, yeah.
The Cheeseheads.
Yeah, the Cheeseheads and the Arrowheads. That's an interesting matchup, the Arrowheads and the Cheeseheads. I'm going to say Kansas City only because of home field advantage. If it was in Green Bay, I think it'd be a different story. I honestly don't know. But I'm going to say the Chiefs, but not by much. That's going to be a good game. If Rodgers is definitely there by then, that's game of the year candidate.
All right, so Luca, you're the tiebreaker.
I'm taking the Chiefs here.
Of course you do. Real quick question from Donovan. Do you think the Bears should have kept Trubisky for a decent backup if Fields get hurt and cut Foles? They have way too many quarterbacks, so I'm going to say no. I think they should just
honestly, I can kind of understand Nick. I don't think you can cut Nick Foles because they got that big contract.
Yeah.
So that's your problem with that. If they could find someone that they should fire Matt Nagy.
I could agree with that.
I honestly agree.
I can agree with that. The problem is you got to trade Nick Foles, and who's going to take Nick Foles? Except for Philly. Philly would definitely take Nick Foles.
The Eagles would do it.
I'm not even denying that.
With that being said, just because it's been a lot of Bears, Donovan, are you a Bears fan? If not, what fan are you? Because you've never been to my channel before, and I do want to get to know my viewers.
Yeah, we welcome you, and we actually did get to see the Bears play before in person. So if you want to hear some stories about that game, just we could let you know. It was in New York. It was a Giant game, but we did see the Bears play.
Seahawks, Packers, Green Bay.
Packers.
In Green Bay, home field advantage in this one.
Packers, Ravens.
I don't want to say this, but I'm gonna go with Baltimore. I'm gonna be honest. Home field.
Lamar's rushing attack.
Exactly. I don't think Green Bay's got what it takes to stop Lamar. That's gonna be a good one. I won't deny that. That's gonna be a good game. I'm gonna say the Ravens, unfortunately.
Okay, so they finish up at 13-4 on the year.
I got the same thing.
He is a Bears fan, so I was right on that one. Welcome to the club.
If you want, check out Alex's Twitter. You might have to scroll back quite a bit, but we have, like I said, we've seen the Bears play. We got a picture up close with Prince Amukamara. So you want to see that? Let us know.
I'm gonna save him all the grief and actually pull it up on my Instagram or do something like that. But I'll save him the grief. In a little bit, we'll pull that up.
Quickly. So
I like this.
Funky Bears legend. Oh Lord. All right.
Think that the Packers would win because Baltimore's overrated?
I think the Packers would win because Baltimore's overrated.
Do you think that the Packers would win because Baltimore's overrated? Do you think that the Packers would win because Baltimore's overrated? Do you think that the Packers would win because Baltimore's overrated? Do you think that the Packers would win because Baltimore's overrated? Do you think that the Packers would win because Baltimore's overrated? Do you think that the Packers would win because Baltimore's overrated? Do you think that the Packers would win because Baltimore's overrated? Do you think that the Packers would win because Baltimore's overrated? Do you think that the Packers would win because Baltimore's overrated? Do you think that the Packers would win because Baltimore's overrated? Do you think that the Packers would win because Baltimore's overrated? Do you think that the Packers would win because Baltimore's overrated? Do you think that the Packers would win because Baltimore's overrated? Do you think that the Packers wo
Ooh, I don't say Baltimore is overrated. As much as I hate them, I wouldn't say they're overrated. Lamar is definitely overrated. That's without a doubt. But the team around him is a good team.
Yeah.
Okay, so chat, you get to pick the next team. Obviously, whoever goes first, you get the.
You got up until 2 hours 31 minutes. We got the clock
Not
right here.
Not necessarily, because we did talk sports beforehand.
Okay.
But we've been making some good pace, though.
Yeah, we're doing all right. How many teams do we got left?
All right, so Cincy is the next team. Since you guys clearly we don't. I listen. I'll root for Joe Burrow, but he ain't staying on the field more than like 5 games if this offensive line doesn't.
Look at his week 2 matchup. Look at his freaking week 2 matchup. He's got to face Khalil Mack.
God, we have them at 0-10. Wow. All
right, for the first match, I'm taking the Bengals.
Thing is, Darwin. Obviously, I forgot. I don't really cross teams off in the description. Did the Saints already? Their record is actually on the right. Their record is at a 8-9. So, okay. So the next team after will be the Chargers. But let's go with the Bengals first. We have them doing really bad, I guess. I'm going to take the Bengals in week 4.
I will too. Thursday night game in Cincinnati. Home field advantage. Obviously, if there's a game where Joe Burrow is going to need, the only reason that you can honestly say Jacksonville will win, I'm not saying they will. I still got Cincinnati, but the previous 2 weeks, Joe Burrow's got Chicago's defense and then Pittsburgh's defense.
Vikings defense the front 7 of the Vikings defense is also pretty good. So.
This might be a game where you got to sit Joe Burrow so he doesn't freaking die.
Really not. I mean, the Jaguars don't really have a good defense, so
this is a game Joe Burrow is going to ball out because I think
he's going to take all that rage and just throw it on the Jaguars defense.
Oh my God, poor Joe Burrow. I actually know a Bengals fan personally. I'm going to have to ask him what he thinks about that 2-week stretch. That's terrible. That's freaking terrible. They got free. Alex, put on put a banner up. # free Joe Burrow. This poor man. That poor man.
Multiple choice. Joey B leaves in a body bag, stretcher, ambulance, back to Louisiana. All
we shouldn't predict
question. All we the Bengals fans would hate us right now, but I'm gonna go with E.
Oh, I'll take all the smoke from the Bengals fans. I don't even care. Bengals fans can come at me all they want.
Even after they debated me on the Kenny Galladay topic.
Yeah.
But there's that. Basing off the other teams they have to face, we have them really bad.
Well, yeah, how can you not?
I could see the Chargers-Bengals game for upset potential.
Same.
So do I. We have
the Ravens to do, and I think we're gonna. Let's start with this. Will the Ravens split?
No. Okay. Definitely not.
Bengals Raiders.
Raiders. If it was in Cincinnati, I'll be honest. If it was in Cincinnati, I think I would honestly take the Bengals, but I'll say the Raiders.
Donovan says he probably has the most stress this year, saying it's only his second. He only played like half a season.
I could agree with that.
That's something
I agree.
Week 13.
Chargers. Not by much.
Not by much, though. I think it's going to be closer than anticipated. Week 14.
49ers.
San Francisco.
Yeah,
that reminds me 2 years ago when San Francisco walked in there and freaking walked all over the Bengals.
And then obviously the Bengals will win this game, week 17.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bengals are going to dominate. I legitimately don't know what you're talking about.
It's hard to believe that we have them going at 1-16. I mean, how low are our expectations?
I got them at 3-14. The only teams I got them beating are Jacksonville, Detroit, and Jets.
Good question here. I appreciate how sports-focused these streams are, and nothing controversial is mentioned. With that being said, which NFL team is the worst fan base and why? No controversy here. Don't worry about controversy. This ain't a controversial question. And even if it is, we're willing to answer it. And I think we'll be unanimous.
Oh, yeah. I think considering where you guys used to live and where I live,
Let's say it together. Let's say it together in the nickname. Well, not nickname. 1, 2, 3. Philly.
Eagles.
Yeah, Philly.
It's without a doubt. I actually went to Philly for a football game once, and I got to see it for myself. We lived it. We dealt with it our whole lives.
I also agree with Potato. I was overruled.
The only reason
I was overruled last week.
Alex, click on the Steelers for a sec because I want to explain to Potato why. Because I think he missed last week's stream. The reason Luca was the tiebreaker was the Steelers are going to be on a hot streak. If you look, Chicago win, Detroit win.
I also have the Chargers winning against them, Potato. Just so you know.
But basing off of our predictions, they're going to be on a hot streak. So it's going to be a trap game. But we voted Pittsburgh. Alex did not, but
I was overruled. So did we pick our next team?
We did not.
Raiders.
Okay.
All right.
Who said
that's
Raiders?
what we mentioned. We mentioned Raiders.
The Chargers.
Okay.
The Chargers. Potato said the Chargers. Okay.
We can do the Raiders after. Luca wants the Raiders, so we'll do the Raiders after.
Chargers.
First off, before we continue, Alex, real quick, before we continue, how many teams do we got left? I just want to know. We're doing really good on timing. I will say that.
Okay, so we got the Ravens 1, Colts 2, 3 Jaguars. This whole division sets another 3. That's like 6. 7 with the Raiders. 8 with the Niners. 9 with the Seahawks. 10 with the Panthers. I'm pretty sure that's it, actually. Yeah.
Okay. So we're halfway done.
We're halfway there.
Yeah, please stop.
TD says, I'm a bit annoyed.
You missed it last week. Alex did Corvette.
How they wouldn't let Laurent Duvernay Tardif put MD on his jersey after opting out last year to serve a doctor and help others. That's disappointing.
Yeah.
I remember the story about him going to help out doctors with COVID. That's disappointing.
That's the NFL being douchebags.
Yeah. They're so uptight about sponsors and stuff like that, and on the helmets and the cleats and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's just ridiculous.
It's not NASCAR. You know, you can promote all you want, but you don't need to friggin' plaster our jerseys and stuff with it. If it was NASCAR, that's a different story, but this isn't NASCAR.
NASCAR. With that being said, let's talk about this game. I honestly think that the Chiefs split with the Chargers.
I do, actually. I got the same thing. I think that I actually am calling for the away split.
That seems more realistic.
I agree.
Because the Chargers have done that before. They have walked into Kansas City and walked out with the dub. Their home game is probably going to be mostly Chiefs fans. Again, we're basing, guys, if you didn't see last week, we're basing this as if it's going to be full capacity by this year. Judging the way MLB and all these sports events are going up to full capacity, we're assuming that most of these, if not all, are going to be full capacity. I see the away split because I think the Chiefs are going to start out a bit slow.
I want to say away split for the Raiders-Chargers. Personal opinion.
The battle of the new stadium.
I'm going to disagree with you, Alex. I'm going to tell you why. Okay.
Luca, go ahead, and I'll explain my reasoning for my pick.
I disagree because there's no way the Chargers are going to survive the black hole in Vegas. They're just going to get out-mobbed by Raiders fans.
But, Luca, think about it like this. This is my point. Los Angeles, people have asked, is it a Rams town? Is it a Chargers town? It's a Raider town. Raiders are so loved in Los Angeles that their LA talk shows discuss the Raiders. So you can make the same argument to LA. That's why I'm actually going to take the away split.
That's 2-1, so Luca is overruled. So they're at 10-5 right now, doing pretty good. So we have about 2
Holy
games.
fuck.
Chargers, Ravens. Coming off a
Baltimore.
home game against
Ravens.
Cleveland. This is tough.
It could be good.
gonna say
Again, we don't know. What the Chargers could be good, but I got the Ratbirds.
This is. I know Sean's not going to answer this one.
Oh, come on, that's not fair. we've been friends for this will be 13 years come August. I cannot pick. They are family to me. So I cannot actually give you an answer for that. Wow, I never thought I'd be asked that before. I mean, Luca's a little bit better, but you know.
Hey!
I'm only kidding.
Remember who was in your class for so many years?
Yeah, I know. Actually, that is a true story, guys. If you don't know, I did not have Luca in a class. I only had in first grade. It was one of the only grades that I had him in. I did not have him in a class until Luca. Correct me if I'm wrong. 7th grade or 6th?
7th grade because we had gym class together and computer class.
That's right. Every year, with the exception of first grade, up until that point, it was just me and Alex. I'll be honest. I didn't know Luca as well. But now that once high school came around, we were in the same class. We were finally able to be in the same classes and whatnot. But no, I'm not. I ain't picking favorites. I definitely will not.
Luca said that the Jets would beat the Texans.
Just like the time Sean nearly ran over Alex when Alex went to catch a football
in gym class. That was right, because I remember
when Sean got hit in the.
I remember the quarterback. I think it was Mr. Oliver. He overthrew me. I fell, and then Sean just leaps.
Oh yeah, we both fell. No, I know Alex's favorite moment was when he threw a football at my nuts.
And then he flopped like a
What happened was it was like the coldest day ever. It was like 33 degrees outside.
We were standing outside.
Sean, I threw a football at Sean. It hits his nuts, and he starts flopping like a dead fish.
I legit fell on the ground. It hurt. It was so cold.
He kept flopping like a fish that just got fished out of water.
Chat, let us know, since we still got the schedule to do. If you guys want an episode dedicated to just the 3 of us with past stories, let us know. Because actually, that something might be down.
I like that. I like that.
That would be
that
fun.
Would be fun. Chat, if you guys want that, and obviously Jagger, you were friends with us. You are friends with us. You could obviously chime in on that too if you're still here. If you guys want an episode just dedicated to past stories, let us know, because that actually sounds really fun. I'm not even gonna lie. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Donovan says, I feel like the Washington can win by 4 because that team has like a real life rebuild. It's going to be a close game week 1.
Yeah.
My personal opinion.
Yeah.
This is funny.
God. I'm dead.
I mean, I've been hitting the.
Oh God, no! I know what that feels
talk about
like.
Ironic moments. TD, we played each other in Madden today, me and my brother, and it was on super hard mode. And yeah, we got. Okay,
we got plenty of stories. Maybe, just maybe we'll plan a day. Maybe it doesn't have to be this Monday. We can just schedule a random day. We can set something up like that. We'll let you guys know. But that I'm actually really intrigued by that.
Yeah. This I guess TD's some sort. Really?
Yes.
Oh Lord.
Whatever. One more game, and that's the Patriots Chargers. I think the Chargers win off the bye.
I think the Chargers win.
Holy hell!
Let's not forget the way New England walked all over them last year.
That was hard. That was horrible.
What was it, like 45-3? They had like that 2-week stretch in LA. They friggin' embarrassed by the Rams. No, they beat They beat the hell out of the Chargers first. Only get dominated by the Rams on Thursday Night Football. Right? Was it Thursday night? I think it was.
Yeah.
No. Wait, which one?
Rams, Patriots was
That was
Thursday
Thursday night. That was Thursday.
Yeah.
They had that on a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
We'll do Raiders and then the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
Okay.
So the Raiders. Ravens, Raiders. Why is this? This is Monday night. Why?
Why? Why? I'll be honest, though. I would take this matchup over Bears and Rams for Sunday night.
And Dallas, Tampa Bay.
And Dallas, Tampa
Raiders
Bay.
upset.
I can see why. Because it's a West Coast game.
I'm gonna say
What?
Ravens win because of the Raiders' undeveloped defense.
I say the reason the Ravens win, they can actually prepare for jet lag because remember, between the final week of the preseason and the first week of the regular season, there's pretty much a bye week.
Yeah, there's a week
So they
off.
got the extra time to prepare. So honestly, they could hypothetically, let's say they decide, oh, we're gonna head out to Vegas a week early, sir, so we can use the jet lag. That's very possible. So I'm still saying Ravens, but I would not rule out a Raider upset. But I don't think it happened. If it were to happen, it would have to be later in the season.
Dolphins, Raiders, the team of the both teams of the ultimate tank.
Oh
One
my
year
God,
the
they're
Raiders,
gonna give
1 year
my-
the
No,
Dolphins.
Alex, would you consider this a meh bowl?
Nah, I wouldn't consider this a Nyeh Bowl. Remember, this is the
Last
Nyeh
year.
Bowl.
Last year was a meh bowl.
Yeah, Nyeh Bowl. I'm gonna take the Dolphins.
Let me see who they played the week prior.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I got the Raiders, but okay, they come a home game against Buffalo.
I'm taking the
I'm
Raiders.
gonna say the Raiders, but not by much.
Luca, who do you say?
I'm taking the Raiders.
You guys disappoint me.
I'm not ruling out a Miami win. It's just I think this comes down to home field advantage, and that jet lag is going to kick in.
Donovan says the Raiders do what they did last year, make a major upset after half the season. Which upset did they make last year? I forget.
It was Chiefs Raiders.
Oh yeah.
I could see it in a way split.
I got the home split, but regardless of split.
I'm gonna say home split. Actually, wait. No, I'll say a way split.
Well, didn't Kansas City wasn't the close game in Vegas last year? Or am I?
No, it was in Kansas
No,
City
it
when
wasn't
the
Kansas
Raiders
City.
won.
That's right. Now I remember it was Kansas City. I mean, they gave them problems both games. That is very true. They gave them problems in both games.
And then week 17, I'm gonna take the
Colts.
Colts. That's easy.
8-9 for the Waiters.
Mediocre.
I got the same thing.
Next up,
Overrated. I know my the Raiders people that I know won't be happy with me on that, but tis what it is. I got
Giants
Jacksonville.
are gonna be pretty good this season. Full stadiums are only going to benefit them. Hopefully.
Yes, I agree.
Dolphins, Jaguars. One of the battles of Florida, I should say. I'm going to take the Dolphins.
In London, though,
You're
which
right.
is so stupid. That is so dumb. Like, imagine if the Giants and Jets were about to play and they're like, oh, we're going to move that game out to London. That would piss me off. If I was a local Miami Dolphins fan in Jacksonville and I just lost that game, I would be pissed. But I'm going to take the Dolphins.
All right, so Jaguars, Seahawks. I think we obviously think the Jaguars are going to win.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know. Imagine if Saxonville was still there, because remember the last time these two teams played? Friggin' one of the Seahawks.
It was like one of their players. They got into a fight with one of the fans.
Yeah, because somebody threw beer. Because Jacksonville fans are toxic. Florida football fans are the most toxic people you will meet, especially in college. College is worse.
Week 9, I think we all know who wins that one.
Irish get that. They get to go down to Florida State week 1, so we're gonna get to see it for ourselves. Can't wait to shut them up.
I'm saying Buffalo.
Yeah.
Buffalo. That's a Buffalo home game. That's gonna be a home game of friggin'. Wait a minute. Hold on. Is that a back-to-back? Oh wait, no. That's never mind. I didn't know if they were going back-to-back Jacksonville then Tampa. No, I forgot they play them later.
Jaguars, Colts. I don't see a split.
No, Indianapolis. The only way that they'd split, once again, Week 18 if Wentz doesn't play. But even judging off what we're doing, I don't think the Colts are going to be in a situation where they're going to want to sit their starters this year.
This is a good point by TD. This is true.
Oh, it is true. It's definitely true. I just think there were so many better teams that they could have taken out there.
Florida fans are not too toxic. It has to be Philly fans. Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true, too. I'm talking more so college than anything. But when the Jaguars were getting good, their fans were getting toxic. Jaguars fans were
Floridian Bears fan. That's interesting. I've never heard of that. But, hey, it doesn't mean it doesn't.
Bears fans have a big fan base. We saw it for ourselves. When we went to the Giant Bear game, we were by that one section where it was a ton of Bears fans from Chicago. So Bears fans travel well. So that really doesn't surprise me all that much. Plus, everybody's moving to Florida these days. Freaking, I got to know people from work going to Florida. An old teacher of ours is going down to Florida. Everybody's going to Florida.
Week 11. Obviously, the Jaguars.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Freaking Trevor Lawrence might get killed that game.
And then week 17, obviously, the Jaguars.
Obviously. I mean, hey, they did it in the AFC Championship, so they have to do it again, right?
Absolutely.
The fact that they came out and beat them the next year in like one of the first couple of weeks was...
Yeah. Well, it was in Jacksonville, so, I mean, I actually predicted them to win that game.
All right, so, chat, you pick the next team. Here are the listen for the available teams. The Colts, the Patriots, the Bills, the 49ers, Seahawks, Panthers.
That's 6
teams. That's 6 teams.
We're going to get this done.
Dolphins are next.
Dolphins?
The duplicate Giants.
All right, this is going to be an interesting one because I know Luca's going to...
Colts are after this, by the way.
Like this one. Okay. That's another good one. Man, we really got some good ones for the end.
Yeah.
Best for last.
I say home split.
So do I. Because New England, for whatever reason.
Miami.
Exactly.
Bills Dolphins.
Home split.
Hold on.
Home split.
Why do I feel like the first 2 weeks was like last year?
I think it is it not?
I could have sworn we did the same thing last year. Someone look up the schedule, please.
From last year?
I want to say the first 2 weeks are the same.
Hold on. I got it. 2020.
Donovan, you've had our number the last 2 years, but I'm going to say the Giants beat the Bears this season.
It's going to be a good one, though, because it's in Chicago. Okay, it gave me 2021, even though I asked for 2020, which is amazing. At New England, and then, same thing.
Why?
They get
couldn't the computer have been more original?
Right? No, I'm saying home split though. That's gonna be a statement game for Miami. I will say that. That's going to be a statement game. That means Buffalo is going to all 3 Florida stadiums. So the people from Buffalo that moved to Florida are going to be very happy this year.
That's true.
They're going to be very happy this year.
The Dolphins and the Bills?
Yeah. Luca, do you disagree? Agree?
I say, yeah.
Okay. Colts Dolphins.
That's an intriguing game.
That's a good one. And you hear cats fighting in the background.
I'm going to say
Miami. I'm going to say Miami.
I think it's slightly.
Not by much. That's going to be a good one, though. That's another sleeper game. And they've actually had some pretty good matchups the last couple of years. Remember, Miami walked into Indianapolis that one year, when they were tanking, and they walked out with the dub.
That's true. Right after they beat us.
With this quickly, I will say, The Bucks. This is our 5th year in a row facing the Bucks. Next year is going to be the 5th year in a row facing the Bears. So
that's how, with the way the schedule works, y'all always finish in the same spot.
Also, TD's right. Jacoby Brissett revenge game.
Oh, that's true.
You're right. You're right.
Week 10, Ravens Dolphins.
That game has some intrigue.
Thursday night football. I'm calling Miami upset.
Me too.
I could agree. I agree.
I really am. I'm gonna get, we might get some hate for that, but I'm calling an upset.
And then week 12, Panthers Dolphins. I'm gonna say the Dolphins.
Sam Darnold does know that team really well, so that game is a little bit more intriguing than I think people think. I'm gonna say Miami, but not by much. Sam Darnold knows that team very well.
Miami finishes with an 11-6 record.
I got him at 12-5. All right, who's next?
Okay, so Donovan is talking some stuff. The Giants don't beat us this year. I think Justin carries us on offense, and defense does what it does.
I say it's going to be a very close game because it's in Chicago. I think that one's going to come down to like the very end, down to the wire. That's going to be a good one. I honestly was considering. I really think Chicago can win that game. I don't think they will, but I'm not.
The Giants.
It's a big trap game for the Giants. And it's late in the season. They got that cold air. It's a Week 17 game, so that's a huge trap game. I'm still saying the Giants, but not by much.
This is a good point.
That's true, too. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
So the next team, I could have only picked the next team. Or the next team, Colts, right?
Yes.
Indianapolis Colts. So we already have 12 games, 5 more games on the books. Seahawks, Colts, I'm going to go with the Colts.
Yeah, me too. Well, yeah. That game could be good, though. I won't even lie. That might actually be a good game. Seattle, I wouldn't be surprised if walked away with the win. But that's gonna be like Wentz's statement game. Like, hey, I'm back to my former self. Y'all are on note. Y'all better be put on notice now.
Colts, Ravens.
Monday Nighter, I'm taking Baltimore. Why does Baltimore get 2 Monday Nighters in the first 5 weeks? That's stupid. Who wants to see that trash team? What, so they can watch Lamar take a dump and then pull out a miracle? No, thank you.
Luca?
I'm taking the Ravens.
TD says, I can't see Wentz winning 1 week in a new system personally. Week 1 in a new system personally. I think that's
that.
I could see.
I
see his
but
point.
unlikely.
But he has the preseason to learn the system, though.
That is true. We do get the preseason back.
The tree season. Colts 49ers. I think this is going to be a close game.
I got San Francisco because they're coming off of a bye. And the Colts are coming from the East Coast off of a game against Indianapolis. So San Francisco.
Yeah.
Colts, Bills. I'm going to say the Bills.
Good one.
I'm going to say Bills. That reminds me of the divisional round.
Yeah,
yes.
That was a good game last year. That's going to come down to the battle of the coaches. Buffalo.
Sean will love this next comment by TD.
Yes.
I honestly agree with that as well.
Unless he takes a dump. Then we all gotta drool over everything he does.
Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
Week 15 Patriots Colts. I think the Colts. Obviously,
both teams
there. You do some of the
Colts are. I got the Colts, but actually that's more intriguing though because both teams are coming off of a bye week. That makes that very interesting. But Colts.
So the Colts finish with an 11-6 record, which I think is
I got the same thing.
Donovan says, I think the Seahawks didn't want to get rid of Wilson because their backups are ass. I don't think it's because of that. Well, I just think if they would have traded Wilson, I think they should have gone into a rebuild. My personal opinion, though.
Yeah. How do you trade one of the best quarterbacks in the league and still try to compete?
TD does have a point here.
No. No, it's just OBJ, most talked about freaking Lamar moment. What?
You're not OBJ, are you?
Hell no. Ugh. He was your
All right,
player, so.
Here are available teams. Only one of the AFC left. That's
Holy
the Patriots, the Seahawks, the Niners, and the Panthers.
Wow.
Down to 4.
Out of 4 teams.
I kind of want to do New England, honestly.
Let me see what the chat has to say, and then we'll go.
Alex, I might have to after the stream or during the stream. I want to talk to you about Wednesday's plans because somebody was just talking to me about it, and I think you know who.
All right. Let me. Obviously, we'll talk after because I do have to test something out.
Chat, anybody? Otherwise, we're going New England, I
It's
think.
301. Let's finish up the AFC. So it is the Patriots.
Okay.
All right. So let's go to New England, who we have 3 games to figure out. Patriots, Panthers. I think the Patriots.
Cam Newton returns home.
And Donald faces the Ghosts.
Yes.
See, Luca can't get
I'm
offended.
actually going to surprise you guys.
Well, he can get offended because he has a jersey.
I'm going to surprise you guys. I'm calling a Carolina upset. Let me explain why.
Okay.
They're going to be coming off of a Chargers game in Los Angeles, and they can't even go home. They got to go right to Charlotte.
That's a fair argument. That's a fair argument.
Let me see.
I actually am going to
do in Week 8.
And just like the same argument I use against the Dolphins, it's going to come, they know Darnold. Darnold knows them. I actually am taking Carolina in an upset.
I'm sticking
Plus, Carolina over the years has actually had New England's number. No matter how good that New England is, the Panthers have always seemed to have the Patriots' number, with the exception of that one Super Bowl many years ago. But
I remember
the last couple years,
field goal.
Yeah, the Panthers have actually had the Patriots' number, so I'm going to stick with Carolina. Luca, you're the tiebreaker.
I'm taking Carolina.
All right. You guys overrule me once again. TD says, call me crazy, but I think the Pats are kind of underrated this season. They brought a lot of...
Oh, without a doubt.
Honestly, they're a little overrated. Here's why. Tight ends, good. Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. Their wide receivers are fucking placeholders. Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, those are not good wide receivers.
Harry.
N'Keal Harry, he's not good. The running backs they use like trash. And then
isn't their defense kind of good though?
Their defense is better than their offense. That's one thing I'll say. But
I think that's what carries them is their defense. Because we don't know what we're getting out of Cam Newton, but Mac Jones, friggin' if they turn him into something, I'm really gonna cry.
Last 2 games.
I say a home split.
Home split.
Yeah, me too.
Monday night game 2, the Bills won last year. But did the Bills win in Buffalo? They won in New England.
Buffalo. I want to say Buffalo.
Okay. So 10-7 the Patriots are.
I got the same thing.
Next
All right,
team,
we're down to 3.
You keep in mind, I believe they had 12 COVID opt-outs. That's true.
Also true. That's very true.
A lot on defense. You're right on that one. Seahawks, Niners, Panthers. Those are the teams remaining.
I kind of do San Francisco because they're an intriguing team to me, as I mentioned there.
Remember, you don't have to be swayed by Sean's opinions.
I mean, me and Luca kind of run the show, so.
No, you don't.
I mean, we do.
Seahawks, Panthers, and 49ers. Give it to 05. Seahawks, Panthers. It's like I'm doing a raffle.
Right? No, you gotta do it like it's it's an auction. You gotta talk like super duper fast, like you're Eminem, and you could say 7 words in 1 second.
Panthers, interesting.
Okay.
All right.
1 game.
Buffalo.
I didn't even realize we didn't do Buffalo.
That's true.
That's true.
I don't know how we
go back and finish the 1 game in the AFC. And we didn't finish the Ravens either. Wow, we're horrible.
Alex, did you forget how to count?
He did.
I say the Bills.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we go back to the Bills.
Bills.
And
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Chiefs, yes. Let's
Okay.
go to San Francisco.
Ravens,
Not
Ravens,
yet.
Ravens.
We actually did some miscounting. So we're good up. Ravens. The one game we're missing against is the Chiefs. The Chiefs take this game, right?
I'm taking the Ravens.
I can get behind
one's
that.
because Kansas City's had their number, and I really think Kansas City's going to be off to a slow start. And I remember we got the away split with the Chargers, so I'm going to stick to my slow start, and I'm actually going to call a Baltimore upset.
So what you're telling me is they start on an 8-game winning streak. That's
They could provide that false hope, honestly. I can actually see that. Because look how favorable this. Hold on. Let me pull up their schedule. Their schedule is really favorable the first couple weeks.
This I agree with. Hey, the Bears defense carries them just like. I don't think the Packers defense doesn't carry them.
No, not so much the Packers, but the Bears, yes. Bears remind me of
we let the cat out.
Steelers.
Okay. So let's go through quickly. Got all the teams in the AFC. Yes, we do. So now we can move on. I just want to quickly do a recount. Remember, this is new to me. We don't have 16 games no more.
Yeah.
So, Seahawks or the Niners?
I kind of want San Francisco.
Honestly, it's going to be one or the other, but it's going to be both because those two games are the only 2 games remaining.
Yeah, and once Seattle's done, we can just kind of quickly look over their schedule and see if we like it.
Well, basically because the only 2 games remaining on this is the Seahawks games.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
So,
and I got the
Seahawks. Honestly, home split.
I'm telling you, I really think people are sleeping on San Francisco. I got them at 11-6, which I think is fair. I think they got upset against Chicago and Arizona at least once. But
I feel like Kansas City people know their offense pretty well, and all they got is their defense now. Their defense isn't that good. In my opinion, there's a lot of bad talent. I think they use their stars to overrate it because Chris Jones is good, Frank Clark is good, and Tyrann Matthew is good, but they don't have any secondary pieces or anyone like notable in the front 7. So I think it's all coached up by Mr. Spagnuolo. But
now it's on to the playoffs. We got Buffalo first. Oh, Jesus.
I'm going to say Buffalo.
It's hard to pick against Buffalo. I really don't have a choice with this one.
Chargers,
but think about it like this real quick with the Buffalo Steelers one. Steelers will have faced them at least once, so they will be seeing each other a second time, but that problem is that home field advantage.
Buffalo.
So I would take Buffalo, but damn.
In the super cold weather, no less.
Yeah, probably a snow game, honestly.
Dolphins, Colts.
Yeah, Colts.
All right. Chargers, Chiefs. I think we know the answer to this one.
Yeah, Chiefs.
Yeah. That could be a good game, though.
Last. Cardinals, Packers. Jesus Christ.
Green Bay. Green Bay is a better team, and the home field advantage.
Rams, I'm going to say.
Rams.
Oh, that could be a good one, but I'll take LA. Although, yeah, after last year.
They win the division, so interesting.
And the Buccaneers,
49ers,
too.
Giants. Honestly,
I'm taking San Francisco.
I'm not. Here's why. Jimmy G, and even if they replace him with Trey Lance, their quarterback situation, they did not trade for Julio Jones as of yet. And I don't know what their offense is going to be looking like. TD's got a point. Who's starting for the Niners at quarterback?
We're going off of
home field advantage. They're coming across the coast. I'm taking the Giants.
So am I.
Yeah, I'm taking San Francisco, but not by much.
Okay. Wild card round is finished.
The Giants in this place are so much similar to the Knicks, though, because they shouldn't even be here, and they actually have a favorable first game, though.
Yeah.
So that's actually like almost equally the same thing.
Bills Chiefs.
Wow,
Chiefs.
that's a big
taking
matchup.
Buffalo.
Really? Wow, that's a
I'm
bold
taking
pick.
Buffalo.
That's bold. I will take Kansas City mainly because of home field advantage. I think that's what comes key in that situation. If it was in Buffalo, I would take the Bills.
I agree with this statement. The Chiefs are overrated.
Pat
I think they're
Mahomes
gonna
cares.
fall.
If they take Pat Mahomes off that team, they're a crappy team. If you take Pat Mahomes off that team, they're not even that great of a roster, to be honest.
No.
He kind of just carries.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Colts
the only
Ravens.
reason they get as far as they do. That's a good one.
Colts for the upset.
I'm gonna take Baltimore. I don't know if I just feel like Baltimore is a little bit of a better team than Indianapolis.
I'm taking Baltimore.
Of course. Rams Packers.
That's a good one.
Chiefs heads are taking over.
No.
It's
Rams.
in Green Bay. It's in Green Bay.
I think
Um,
that Green Bay's defense isn't the greatest in terms of the stopping the run. And I think that Matt Stafford, better quarterback, comes back and he knows the Packers.
yeah, you know what? I think I agree with you. I think I could see the Rams upsetting Green Bay because Green Bay they can't seem to get over that hump to get back to the Super Bowl. They haven't been able to find it yet, so I actually agree with that.
I wanted the Colts, Donovan, so with that being
I'm taking
said,
the Bucks.
I'm going to have to pick against my team for this one.
Yeah, Tampa Bay. Although Giants fans, if this is a playoff game, if you're a Giants fan, that's going to be really cool to see all them Giants fans because Florida has tons of them. I'd take the Bucks, but I tell you what, that atmosphere would that'd feel like a Super Bowl atmosphere with all the Giants fans you would see there.
It's going to be a close game.
Chiefs, Ravens. I don't think Baltimore beats Kansas City twice.
No.
I really do not.
Real
Lamar
quickly,
has not been great in that.
Joe Judge going to give TB12 a can of ass whooping after beating him in the regular season. Well, that's a bold prediction by you on Monday night.
Bold.
Daniel Jones shuts up everyone after this game and wins by 2 points. Obi-Wan Kenobi nails last second field goal.
That's bold.
Graham Gano.
That's bold. I will, I'd like for that to be correct, honestly. Even as a Steelers fan, I nothing would make me happier than if the Giants could beat freaking Brady again. Although I had to hear from Giants, Brady could win all he wants, but the Giants beat him twice.
All right. I take the Rams here.
That's tough.
I think they're going to be on their high.
I'm going to take the Rams because Brady's never repeated.
That is true. Obviously, the outnumber is there. I can see, you know what? I can see the Rams winning. I'll still take Tampa Bay in this one, only because, the home field advantage, I think, is key in this one. I can see LA winning, but personally, I think I would have to take the Bucks.
Well, you're overruled, Sean. Rams Chiefs Super Bowl. And
the Super Bowl we wanted several years ago.
Oh yeah.
After that wild game. Actually, that would mean a home field advantage for the Rams because it's in LA this year.
Oh yeah.
That's what we're predicting here.
Rams.
My opinion, I'm taking the Rams.
I can see the Rams doing it again. Because the Rams can they beat them the last time they played in LA. Wow, who would have predicted the Rams we got winning the Super Bowl? Who predicted that?
Losing the Bills and Bills versus Bucks Super Bowl. That would be interesting as well.
My predictions,
somebody's thing. I think
my
it was
prediction.
Real quickly before Sean gets to his point. If this would load.
No, I was just gonna say my prediction
was technically pick 9th because the Bears pick.
Yeah. No, I had going to Super Bowl. Luca, I don't know if you've completed your predictions or not. I actually had Bucks and Chiefs going at it again.
I honestly don't know who I have. I didn't even complete my prediction. So a Super Bowl with the Rams, I think they will throw and the Chiefs will win. They won't throw it, but they just, I guess.
It'll be a good one, but remember, though, like we said, though, the Rams are the home team for that one because it's in Los Angeles. So, wow, I was not thinking we were going to have the Rams. Wow. See, that's why y'all got to stay tuned for the whole thing because, again, we don't cater to the popular opinion.
Yeah, who
the hell's got the Rams winning the Super Bowl right now? Who's got the Rams winning the Super Bowl right now aside from Rams fans, the few that exist? That's crazy. Wow. Wow. Blew my mind with this stream.
Yeah. With that being said, you guys want to review the draft order really quickly before we close out?
All right, sure. I mean, it's small for me, but I got it on the computer, so.
The Bengals pick first. The Texans pick second. The Jaguars.
The Bengals are not going to take offensive line first. Calling it now.
No,
they'll get more receivers at LSU.
They'll pick a tight end.
I think the Houston Texans take a quarterback.
I just noticed. TD pointed out we didn't have the Browns making the playoffs.
Wow.
That's because they're tight division.
Hold up. Before we do the draft, let's look at each division.
Sure.
Let's go to each division. Okay, so we got the Ravens, Steelers, Browns, Bears. Wow, I didn't even know.
Bears in your division?
Not Bears, Bengals. Well, a Bengal is a bear, actually, so in case you didn't know.
What?
Wait, so all right, go to you see where it said that blue highlight says
tiger like animal.
I was told it was a bear, but I don't know. See where that little thing is that says division. Go to conference. Click on conference because I want to see who did the Browns finish behind.
Where are you looking?
That blue thing where it's highlighted DIV. Click the white. That'll take you to the full conference. Oh wow, we had the Chargers over them.
Jesus.
That's probably because of a divisional thing.
Crapola.
Probably.
Yeah, divisional thing.
They have a worse division than the Browns.
I ain't no animal nerd, so I it's whatever.
The Bengals.
The Giants
the Bears will trade up in the draft again because nothing's good enough for them. Okay, I actually agree with you. So the worst in that conference is the Bengals, Texans. Jets ranked 13th in their conference. Okay. So the top 7 teams are the Ravens, Chiefs, Bills, Colts, Dolphins, Steelers, Chargers. That's something I get behind. And in the NFC, the Bucks, Packers, Rams, Giants, 49ers, Seahawks, Cardinals. I hate
Cardinals.
If you've known me and I know Donovan's new, TD's not new, so I'm not a fan. I think the Cardinals are super overrated.
We got them I have them at 10-7. They're not going to be that good of a team. They'll choke in the first round.
Yeah, I think the Titans are overrated as well for anyone. No. The Eagles are the worst seed, followed by the Lions, the Vikings, the Falcons, the Bears.
I didn't realize we had the AFC. We got the AFC pretty stacked.
Yeah. The football team, the Panthers, the Cowboys, the Saints. Yeah, that's 4 in a row, 11-6 records.
Yeah. Well, go back to the divisions because I want to see what we have as far as divisions go.
All right.
So we got obviously 2 points the AFC North,
AFC South,
Colts, Titans, Jaguars, Texans. What did I have? I had the same thing. Okay. That seems fair.
My
I don't
next
think Texans are going to agree with that, but
Bills, Dolphins, Patriots.
Luca, how do you feel about the East? Since that's your division.
That's honestly pretty fair.
Yeah.
Honestly, looking at this now, I feel like the Dolphins and the Patriots are going to swap.
Don't think so.
I don't think
maybe,
so.
maybe not because
It depends on Tua.
Yeah, you're
He's a
right.
variable.
Yeah, that's
Jets
the big
finishing at
question
bottom
there.
like usual. AFC West, Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos. If it wasn't for like 2 games, I'd put the Broncos over the Raiders.
I wouldn't go that far. Denver's QB problem is what's holding them back.
And Luca just disappeared. That being said, I'll wait till he comes back. We could also preview the other divisions.
TD, how come you hate Arizona? I'm just curious.
I think they're overrated, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, I do too. They remind me of the 2019 Browns, the Cardinals.
Hold on. We have every team in the West making the playoffs.
Holy crap. Well, they are the best division in the league. I think we're gonna get. I think we'll probably get some hate for the Cardinals finishing 4th in the division. I remember when the schedule came out, people were talking about why did the Cardinals get more prime time? They're a good team. Look how good they were. Yeah, y'all choked against freaking John Wolford.
Chris Straveler was their quarterback for a few. Sean, if I'm honest, they're not like the New York Giants. I don't really wish much success to them. I know that sounds like I'm a terrible person, but I have trouble rooting for other teams. Agreed.
Oh, I hear you. I'm the same way with the Steelers. The only reason, I genuinely support the Giants because my whole family are Giants fans. If they're not happy, then I get to hear, especially because they're moving to New York in about a month and a half. But aside from the Giants, I really don't, occasionally the Jets, because I just feel bad. I genuinely feel bad for them. More so,
The Cardinals are criminally overrated. Yes, D-Hop and Murray are great, but they've had our number recently, and I don't like them. Okay.
They also passed their prime.
Exactly. Luca beat me to my point. J.J.
Watt.
I love J.J. Watt, but he can't stay healthy. He never was able to. He's a great player. He just can't stay healthy, and that's aging on him. A.J. Green, he's another one. He can't stay healthy. Me too, and I'm a Steelers fan. I hate the Eagles because of where I live. I'm in Eastern PA. I'm about an hour and a half north from Philly, but Alex and Luca can tell you how toxic our school was in terms of Eagles fans. It was terrible.
Then when it was baseball season, nobody followed baseball.
Nobody follows the Phillies.
Baseball's non-existent up here, like literally. Like it's hard to find baseball fans. It's not hard to find baseball fans, but most of them are casual. I know a Yankees fan who's like, "Oh, I only watch in the playoffs." Most Phillies fans, they suck anyway. I'm not going to watch them. Most Mets fans, I'll watch them, but they suck.
There are some who watch the Sixers.
Some watch the Sixers. Actually a decent amount of Knicks fans up here, and even a couple of Nets fans.
As a Bears fan, I feel like I'm honest because I feel like we're gonna win or lose. I'm gonna say it because I know other teams. What's
Donovan,
your prediction for the Bears?
I was just gonna say, Donovan, how do you think? I personally think the Bears have a solid, roster with the exception of QB. Do you think if Fields ends up turning out to be a good QB, do you think the Bears can get back to where they should have a couple of years ago, where they were competing for a Super Bowl? Because I think the Bears, if they get that QB situation figured out, I think they can be a good team again.
With that being said, I'll go over the rest of the divisions. Giants 9-8, Cowboys 8-9, Washington 6-11, and Eagles 4-13. The Bucks 14-3, Saints 8-9, still figuring things out. Panthers at a rebuild, but good step in the stage, 7-10, and the Falcons are 5-12. Finishing it off with the NFC and every team is possible. Packers 13-14, 13-4, Bears 6-11, Vikings 5-12, and Lions 4-13.
You think Kellen Mond starts it all this year if Kirk stays healthy the whole season?
If he does terrible.
Yeah.
I don't really see it happening, quite honestly.
I really don't either. Because that's.
I think it's like a Davis Webb kind of draft. I think it's like a Kyle Lauletta thing.
Yeah, it's not going to be for much.
I don't see much of it.
Yeah.
They probably drafted him just to be a backup, my guess.
Well, we'll see what happens.
But if anybody has any other questions about how we feel about any other teams, ask now because we are signing off soon because it is getting late.
Next minute and a half, I'll dedicate to questions, and then we'll close it out.
Yeah.
But while we do the questions and stuff like that, I'm going to hand it over to Sean, Luca, and then me for final thoughts.
There was a fun stream, with we got the Knicks coming up on Wednesday. Like I said, I won't be able to see it unless the game gets rained out Wednesday. But, the Knicks are going to, that's going to be a fun game Wednesday. The Yankees, they got a 3-game set with the Blue Jays. We need some revenge because they're 4-2 against us this year. So we need that revenge. The predictions were fun. We don't cater to the popular opinion, as we just showed. We got the Rams winning the freaking Super Bowl. I don't think anybody has that right now. So if they win the Super Bowl, people better be looking at us because we predicted it and we have the proof. So Alex, this video gets taken down, I'm gonna hunt you down for whatever reason. I'm only kidding. Nah, that is a fun stream. Our draft predictions videos always seem to hit well with people. It seems to draw in new people. So maybe we'll try something different. Maybe, once we know, college football, that could be something we're trying. We're willing to try new things if you guys want to try it. We got the MLB predictors, so every now and then if you want us to predict how a series can go, we're not going to do a whole season with MLB because their schedule comes out a whole year before, way before the off season even occurs. But that would just take we would have to dedicate like 4 parts to this freaking that stream. But as a Nets fan, I get regularly pissed on by Knicks fans, even though I really
every fan base has the rotten apples except for Philly because they're all rotten.
I get trash talking is one thing, but we don't like to bombard people.
Yeah, right.
We'll make our jokes. We'll do this and that, but a tier list, I would be down for that.
Yeah, a tier list.
You guys know how to use Tier Maker, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I could be down for that. We'll talk about that after. We'll get back to you on that because I kind of like that.
Okay.
No, we know plenty of Nets fans. I know a few, but they're generally nice people, so I won't completely crap on them. There's no reason to. It's fun to debate, fun to argue, but we don't take it too far. If somebody takes it far with us, then we're gonna take it far with them. That's just how that goes.
That's how it is.
There's Nets fans who we used to work with at a different website, not going to mention names, but they were pretty obsessive, and they asserted that New York.
They were so fair weather, though.
I feel like the Nets fans kind of started it because they started running around after they got all those guys talking about, oh, we run New York, stuff. If the Knicks were as bad as they were last year, the Knicks would still be more talked about. I'm sorry, I truly believe that because it's a Knicks town. If the Mets won the World Series, it'd be a Yankee. Talk of the town with the Yankees. Football is very divided, so I won't talk football too much. Hockey, if the Islanders won the title, talk of the town would still be the Rangers. That's just kind of how it goes with these two teams.
Okay, so I'll see what the question is. What did I say? Who's one player you guys lost as free agent that you will miss this season? For one, it's questionably Dalvin Tomlinson. For me, it has to be him or Wayne Gallman, honestly, because I liked Wayne Gallman.
The one guy that for us that we lost that I'm gonna miss the most, probably Marquise Pouncey. I get he screwed up in that one game, but he's a veteran. He really definitely, I think, would have probably changed a lot of our predictions. Considering we were talking about O-line a lot being a big problem for the Steelers. So Marquise Pouncey for me is probably the biggest one. Him and Steven Nelson. Although Steven Nelson was kind of pissing me off when he got cut.
He got cut, and he got roasted by Darius Slayton week 1. All I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Luca.
Well, to be fair, we also kind of embarrassed Saquon, so there's that.
Yeah. Free agency. I honestly gotta look it up because there's not many people. What's up?
Sam Darnold.
Sean just likes ice cream. Me and Luca could both say vanilla. TD says, "Hey guys, always look forward to these streams. Always tons of fun. When you guys think you'll be live again, this is always
every Monday.
Great job. Next week might change honestly because
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, so it's probably most likely going to be next Wednesday.
Yeah,
if everyone's schedules goes accordingly.
I should mention too, there is the possibility once summertime gets here, before I move, we could actually have later, streams that can go later. We're on a restriction now because of school, but this is my last week of school. I'm done on Wednesday. Not Wednesday, Friday. So we can once school year's over for us, we can actually have later streams. We just kind of have to restrict ourselves because we still do have school. I got testing the next 3 days, which I'm not looking forward to. But
Donovan says yes. If we get the QB situation, I feel like we get there, lose, come back a couple seasons later, win the Super Bowl.
I can see that.
Luca, who's your?
I'd probably say Jordan Jenkins, but he didn't really play well last year. So,
Luca, you want to close out with final thoughts, and then I'll close out.
Friday memory stream. Fridays are usually kind of locked up for us. I have we kind of have a regular routine. Fridays I do, I'm usually doing stuff. So. As far as a memory streamer go, I don't know, Alex, would you really want to make that a Big Blue in the Bronx thing, or would you rather make that like a different thing that we just schedule on a random day? With the summer coming, like we'll have more open days. My work schedule will be different, but we're gonna work that out after, guys. So we'll keep you updated on that, but we will, we'll come up with something. Don't worry.
Yeah. Luca, you want to close out with final thoughts, and then I'll proceed.
I thought predictions were very fun tonight. We actually had a quicker pace and actually made things a little easier so we can fit it in. Looking forward to the Yankees-Blue Jays series. Looking forward to Game 2 on Wednesday versus the Hawks. Really looking for revenge. Again, look out for – Alex is probably going to tell you look out for a stream Wednesday.
Okay.
With that being said – I will update you guys on a possible stream Wednesday. And just because it's Knicks doesn't mean I can't talk football, I can't talk baseball, I can't talk anything. Obviously, we open it up to
anything.
The problem is that a lot of people on YouTube are mainly based on football or baseball or basketball, whatever.
We're going to go out there.
It's off season, they don't talk about anything. We have knowledge of multiple sports. And when you come on this, when you come on this stream, we talk about a lot of things. I mean, Potato was bringing.
You guys want to talk NASCAR?
We were talking about memories between the three of us, and that never crossed our paths before today.
And now it's considered as an actual base topic. No, and even too, if you want to talk about those not so popular sports, racing, I'm down for that because I love racing. These guys, they're newer to it, but you want to talk golf? We're not going to know what the hell you're talking about, but go ahead. We'll try to act like we know what we're talking about. But soccer, we've had a couple of soccer conversations on here. We don't know much about it, but we're open to anything. Like I said, like Alex said, all we ask is try to keep it at least PG rated. We don't mind poking fun at each other, but at least PG rated. Terms of what we discuss, and obviously no politics because that will just start too many problems.
Potato says, how much is Porzingis being paid by the Knicks to sabotage the Mavs? He hates New York, so I highly doubt he would take a deal from them to sabotage his new team. But with that being said, look out for Wednesday. They're calling for rain here at a 50% level, so we'll see what happens. Because I do have a game.
So look at TV's comment. You'll like that.
Game Alex ever beating every. I honestly said today when I was versing Luca, we need to stream his rage because he happens to blame the game a lot, not himself.
They go at it. They go at it.
No, we need to set it up.
I'll be honest, I suck at Madden, so I've only beaten Alex like twice. He's beaten me like 5 straight times.
What was I going to say? Wednesday, we'll obviously see about a Knicks stream. I think I know who he's talking about that we're going to discuss after a little bit. Next Wednesday will be Boys in the Big Apple like it was today, but unfortunately Monday I'm kind of busy. I'll be up in a different state. So that's if Sox Arizona did not take off for that day, and I'm not going to say, hey, listen, it's off now. No, I'm going to work my way through and say, hey, listen, we're going to do the game on Sunday. So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to set up a new template through OBS so we could actually, not just have the basic StreamYard format and then streams in the future. Obviously, once again, we connect on a lot of topics. The 3 of us, we've been friends for a long time. Now we get to express it to you guys, and it's going to be a fun one. Donovan says all my noties are set, probably notifications. And listen, just don't be afraid to share this with friends and stuff like that. These are fun conversations. And with that being said, what was I going to say? You don't have to be a Yankees or Giants fan to subscribe to this channel. You could be an Eagles fan. You could be an Eagles fan, and I may not like your team because of the way they treat the Giants. But hell, you could subscribe to me. We could actually have an intelligent conversation.
Yeah, as long as you're not coming out here screaming, "Oh, screw your team! I'm better." If you're going to come at us, at least try to give us an educated reason as to why. But we just ask that. If you're just going to come out shooting your bullets, then it might not get pretty.
One more question before we go. One to 3. What's the best looking?
What does he mean? Wait, I'm
best looking 1 to 3 in terms of us.
Okay, it's obviously me.
No, it's not you.
It's me. How can
it's obviously me? The hair. See, Luca's got a tank top.
I got the hair too.
Yeah, you got the hair. Okay, yeah, with your scrawny ass Steelers shirt coming down to here, friggin', and your green wall. See, at least I have a green screen.
I got a natural green screen. I don't need no green screen because it's natural.
And natural green. Then set up a background.
No reason. The green screen's right there. I got my Steelers representing Family Guy. I'm representing my Grand Theft Auto love.
Hopefully this year I'll be tailgating right here.
I would like to be there for that.
The Eagles game especially.
One thing I was disappointed at when the schedule came out was that the Steelers weren't going to New York. It's serious when Alex attacks Sean's walls.
Green has to be one of my least favorite colors, honestly.
Green's my most favorite, actually.
Oh, well, we know why we bicker on that. But with that being said,
why am I hating so? Why?
See, Donovan's a Bears fan, and we didn't necessarily agree on who's winning in Week 17. But hey, he's on the right side already. With that being
once again, real quick, before we end it, Donovan, once again, real quick, as we mentioned earlier, if you want to hear about our memories from the Giant game, you could obviously reach out to any of us. Our descriptions, our Twitter accounts are in the description. I posted a little bit higher in the chat. I'll post it one more time. If you want to reach out to any of us on Instagram or Snapchat, whatever, we can obviously tell you our stories from the one game. It probably will be. So keep an eye out for the memory stream because we did go. Alex, we'll supply Alex with all the pictures and stuff. So
yeah. Did you post it?
Oh, we're on it now.
Yeah, obviously. With that being said, guys, if you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on that notification button so you get notified when a live stream pops or a video drops. Once again, you don't have to be a Giants or Yankees fan to come in here. Alex never saved him the trip to look. Okay. I'll do that before I leave, actually. I didn't take a picture with Mukamarka. I can't even pronounce my former freaking player's name correctly. But with that being said, he was by my section. I never really took a picture with him.
He was right in front of us. I got the picture. I don't know, Alex, if you want to get it off my Instagram, I got it. He actually saw my post. He saw my post, and him and his wife both liked it because it was with his wife. Right there.
Right there. We were sitting in like row 3, which is awesome.
Yeah. It was cool. It really was. That was a fun game to go to. We were by a bunch of Bears fans, so
yeah.
absolutely.
And obviously, once again, there's a lot of stuff that happened that day, so we'll discuss it in a later.
We'll discuss that. But Bears fans, shout out to y'all because y'all travel out really well. But,
Yeah.
I respect your fans, especially considering they pretty much have owned us forever. So we're gonna talk about that.
With that being said, guys, I appreciate y'all who came out to the stream, even if you didn't comment. If you liked, even if you just watched from an unsigned, from a not signed in account, we thank you. We really do. Obviously, like a couple episodes ago, Sean mentioned that he's coming out of his comfort zone to do this, and obviously, it's not such a uncomfort zone for him now because we're having intelligent conversations. Luca, obviously, he doesn't appear much on the channel. Now he appears every Monday, every week, and me, obviously, you get to see my face at least a couple times a week, and I'll try to be more.
You poor souls.
I'll try to be more active. I'll try to be more active during the week because I do have a couple of things. But once the summer hits, it's going to be longer streams. It's going to be longer through the night. It's going to be interesting. So, yeah, it's going to be much better. With that being said, guys, have a good night. Stay cool. Peace out, everyone.
Have a good night.